What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and I'm back. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody who support me in this platform, Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Much love to everybody. Hope everyone had a good day. We gonna get it in tonight. Gonna get it in tonight, y'all. Got an open panel for any ladies that would like to get on and express their sentiments on this topic. Y'all see the topic? Know your role and play it. Know your role and play it. You know, should women understand that? We gonna get into that tonight. We're gonna get into that. Shout out to the grinder in the building. Shout out to the great moderator, Poetic Cal. Shout out to Rising Star in the building. I appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all share the stream. Like I said, Cyan Low, welcome. Mika 32, welcome. Teresa Ware, welcome. It's great to see y'all. Like I said, it's an open panel. And tonight I really want to hear the woman's perspective. I want to hear the woman's point of view. That's why y'all see hashtag women POV. You know, I want to hear it from y'all tonight. So any ladies that would like to get on and express how they feel about it, you know, I definitely get y'all on and we could chop it up. Because, you know, like I said in my live early this morning, I'm I'm kind of tired of hearing what what our opinions is on what we think women are. Because really, that's really what it is at the end of the day. When you hear men speak on women, like when I speak on women, it's a lot of it is my perspective and I'm speaking from my experience. But at the end of the day, I can't speak for a woman. Just like a woman can't speak for a man. So tonight I want to hear it from y'all. You know? I got you, Rising Star. Go ahead and remove your email. I got you. I got you. I got you too, great moderator. You already know that. But yeah, tonight I would like to hear the woman's perspective. You know, and of course I'm gonna have a series of questions. Yeah, I got it. I sent it to you, Rising Star. Shout out to King Wage. Thanks for tuning in. And make sure y'all smash that like button, fam. Share the show. We gonna get the ladies' perspective. Y'all brothers sit back and tune in, man.
Hi fam.
What's going on, great moderator?
How you doing? I'm you know what? I'm glad you're talking about this right here because this is gonna be a fun conversation.
Yeah, I feel you.
Especially,
I'm glad you
especially
brought it.
right, especially since you dropped Sin Santana. up in there because this is a good comparison right here.
Yeah, definitely. She's part of it, you know,
Okay.
because
Yep. 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 Yep.
you know, she just left Joe Butt.
Yes, I heard. You know what I'm saying? I said, oh, Sin, you done left Joe Budden. You got tired of him leaving you sexless and dry. No,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't laugh like that. But
But
she is someone who said in an interview one day that, black men cater to Latinas. So,
oh, that's what she said. She said that.
yeah, she has said that, she was, and they ran with that. When she made that statement, she was like saying that black man caters to Latinas. I said, well, you've been having sexless nights, so I don't see how much catering he's doing to you.
Right,
Yep.
right.
Sorry. She heard it too. Yep.
Well, that's crazy. That's crazy how she was feeling herself, and now
Mm-hmm.
sad.
My point exactly. My point exactly. How long was she engaged for? About a good 5, 6 months. Good enough, long enough to be on Love and Hip Hop.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, JT, let me get the women's perspective, man. And if they want to bring a brother on, I'll bring you on, bro. But tonight,
Me-
tonight it's an open panel for the women.
Mika, you seen that too? I seen that little chocolate drop he was walking with, looking like a Slim Goody.
Quentin Emerson, welcome. I sent you the email too, Rising Star.
Looking like a Slim Goody.
Oh, I got you.
I was looking like, uh-huh. I see. I know, Mika. I know it's not funny, but listen, hey, when you said what you said, and then we turn around and we see your man walking with a chocolate slim goodie, we like, yeah, and she's sexless, dry. Listen, I don't listen, bro. I don't wish nothing bad on these women, but they gotta understand what type of game they in.
Right, right. And we gonna get into that because that's very important. Because that's what hence the title of the show. Know your role and play it,
Right. I like that. I like that.
you know. So we definitely gonna get into that for sure, for
Mhm.
sure. Because that's to me, that's a very important piece to the whole narrative, you know.
Right.
But I wanna hear what y'all think about it because, you know, show about it. A lot of guys is doing shows about it, and each guy that's doing the show, they got a different perspective from how they see it.
I see. I've
You know what
seen
I'm
a lot
saying?
of I've seen a lot of lives, and yeah, their perspective is real different.
Yeah, everybody has a different perspective on it.
Right.
But I haven't heard. I've heard last night. I heard I was over there with y'all a little bit when y'all was over there talking about it a little bit with Lady Mocha, but I kind of got over there late. So I didn't really hear everything that I wanted to hear. But for the most part, you know, I want to hear a group of women talk about it.
Okay. I understand. You know, my sis classic Ruby was making a good point because I could understand. What I'm saying, like women really take their beauty seriously, and
Hmm.
that's the way of. So I could definitely understand when a woman feel like, at a certain point she feel like she don't got it no more. Maybe because she's a mother with kids, or she's been tied down for so long, and she wondering why nobody looking at her like she's a T-bone steak. You know what I'm saying? Because their beauty is so important to them.
Mhm. What's going on, Rising Star?
Hi,
Hey, can you hear me on the line?
Hi.
How you doing? How you feel?
I'm okay. How are you guys?
We good. We
Good.
So y'all can hear me on the
that's what
live,
I'm just
right?
here for you.
Yeah, I hear you.
Got a little static, Rising Star, but you good?
You still hear the static?
Yeah, a little bit. And
I don't know what that is.
you sound kind of far away. You got a headset in?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Am I still staticking?
Hold on,
Mm.
hold on. Yeah, I still could kind of hear it. It sounds like you probably got a headset in, and you probably getting feedback. That's
How
probably what
about
it is.
now?
Yeah, you sound a little better now.
I took the headset off.
Okay, good, good, good. Yeah,
Okay, good.
all right. That's what's up. How you feel though?
I'm new to this Hangout live thingy.
I know.
Yeah, is this your first time on the panel?
Yes.
Definitely, it is. She been supporting for a while, so I'm definitely glad to have you up here. I appreciate
Wow, I got right off the phone.
you.
Okay, am I back?
Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
good. You good. You
Okay,
here?
you know what it was? I had my YouTube screen up as I'm on this Hangout link as well.
Yeah, sometimes it'll give you feedback when you do that.
Okay, yeah, I have a
You
lot to
gotta
say
mute.
about this topic.
Yeah, I think they say that you gotta mute your YouTube if you have it up.
Yeah, I took it off all the way off. I'm not even looking at the screen anymore.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and chime in. What you
So when it comes to Sin Santana, I really believe that was truly, truly immature for Joe. Now we all know he can be an asshole a lot of times, but she was really, truly immature for him. So I don't never seen that working. I mean, things are good for TV and Hollywood and that life, but in reality, she was never Joe's type ever.
That's the truth. That's the
Um,
truth.
She did make a comment saying that black men treat Latino women a whole lot better. And that caught a lot of feedback and she made a lot of noise with that little comment. And she just really comes off really, really, truly immature. And she really doesn't know how to relay her message when she's speaking about certain topics, especially about race anyway. I don't think a lot of Latino people know how to speak about us when they're talking.
good
I
point.
agree.
Good point. Go ahead, sis.
I agree. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she thought that she was gonna get that kind of feedback from that comment. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, I don't know what her intentions was when she said that. But that's the point of watching your tongue. Be careful with what you say, because look what happens. You know what I'm saying? Your tongue could kind of fuck your own shit up.
That's true. You do have to be mindful. Words do matter a whole lot. And when it comes to Aisha Curry, I just really feel like I don't think she was ready for that interview personally. She wasn't ready.
Right.
I don't think the feedback she's getting back from it now, she didn't expect it. I think she was, like you said, she was expressing how she felt, and that's what she felt. But it's a lot more viewing behind the scenes, and I feel like a lot of NBA wives or ex-wives have made names for themselves. Shawnee O'Neal, name a few. A lot of people stepped out of the shadows of their husbands and ex-husbands and made names, and they get the clout or the attention they look for within the men. Even if they're not putting themselves out there for relationships or anything else, they get that attention. They get the notoriety they want. I think it's more like notoriety for her. I don't know what it is. What
Yeah.
place it's really coming from.
Yep, I totally agree with you on that one. I don't think she was really, really ready for that interview. You know what I'm saying? She seems like she act like she a little oblivious of this kind of
Oblivious
lifestyle.
to the situation. Yeah, she's been in it for a long time, but she know better because they turn up. I've seen a lot of things with Aisha and Steph where they, have a lot of fun together. And I think it was just somebody to place at the table for the red table talk. And she just was running her mouth and not really understanding what kind of backlash she was going to receive from the public.
Right, especially with that comment about how she wished she was getting the same attention from men that he was getting from the groupies. That right there was a no-no.
Yeah, but when it comes to women, we all are versatile in our thinking. I mean, from the core base of it, we just all really want to be emotionally connected to a man, and we
Right.
want the attention. We want to be noticed too. I mean, it don't have to be in a way where he's making us a what's the word I want to choose? He's making a spectacle of who of our relationship, but women want to be put in the forefront, and we want to be recognized for the things we do, and we do want to be, we want to feel like how men feel, I guess. But for me, I don't know. Let me stop talking for a moment.
So
No, you're making some good points.
let me
Oh,
ask, because
okay.
y'all did make some good points. So let me ask y'all this. When she says that she wants the type of attention that Steph gets from groupies. Um, what when y'all heard that, how did y'all evaluate that statement? Because when I heard that, it sounds like she wants sexual attention because she brought up
And
groupies.
that's
Right, and that's what
yeah,
I was
that's
saying. So go ahead.
oh no, you good. No, that's the first thing I was thinking. That's why I said that comment came off as a thirst trap because the first thing they thinking when you throw out comments like that, the first thing men are thinking is you want sexual attention.
And right, you just never know what are the issues in their relationship. They are in the public eye. What we see isn't always what's going on in their real life. And you just never know. He may not have time to give her that sexual attention. I mean, she just didn't know how to relay her message. Once again, I don't think she really meant it that way. And I'm sure they're not even arguing about this. The attention she's getting is a whole lot, but I'm sure they're not even, I hope they're not going through this because they've been together for so long.
That's true. They have been together so long. And you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out, is she like shocked that she had witnessed how much attention that he gets from groupies? Or is she more shocked of the fact that he didn't present her to the groupies?
No, because she as an MB, no, you can't be that oblivious and to what comes with being a basketball star and getting that kind of attention. You just really can't. I really think Aisha just opened her mouth too much and she didn't know what she was saying.
Yeah, she definitely wasn't prepared for
She
that
wasn't
interview, you know what
prepared
I'm
for
saying?
that. And the Red Table Talk, that's Jada Pinkett. And, she gets a lot of followers on Instagram and wherever else. And, that interview probably was more nerve wracking for her than me being on this panel.
Right, and you know what? And she felt like she needed to get that off her chest. That's why I said you don't got no homegirls that you can sit on the patio with to sip some wine and tell that to, instead of going on this round table talk with Jada Pinkett on TV saying that you won't, you wish you were getting the attention that your husband is getting from groupies from other men. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she knew where that
Do
was.
all want an ego boost, and I mentioned that in your chat earlier. It's nothing wrong with a little ego boost, and Aisha is a beautiful woman, and she's not really attractive far as she don't really bring a sex appeal. She's the
Right.
typical
That's
NBA's
exactly what I was
wife,
saying.
and something like we can compare her to someone else, but she's not the typical sex. She don't bring that sexy, that wow effect. When we
Like
look at other
Beyonce.
wives.
Like Beyonce, you know how
Right.
Beyonce got that sex appeal,
She
like
don't bring that sex appeal. She don't bring that wow to the relationship, and I know she knows that. And that's just her speaking on her own insecurities. It's not even probably nothing personally that's really going on. To tell the truth, it's probably her, and that's just what it was, insecurities at the time.
yeah. I believe that it was insecurity at the time, and although she wasn't prepared, I think that my opinion, I think that she should have just kind of like,
Yeah, she wasn't prepared, and what they should have did was prep her before. I guess people come in raw into those interviews and not really prepared, because I don't even think Jada was even prepared herself for that kind of comment to come out her mouth.
I don't think so either. But hopefully, like you said, hopefully they're not having any discrepancies about this because he need to keep his head in the game.
Yeah,
He
that
know
is a big
right.
distraction, and the internet has been dragging her up and down, and it's kind of been relentless and redundant at this point.
Yes, I see that she has been called attention whore and how she wants side dick and all that or whatever.
I
When
don't think that was the case. I think she was just I think she was probably trying to speak for all the wives in the game, because it is they do take a lot of stuff that we don't understand that they take. That's why the purpose of Basketball Wives that Shaunie O'Neal tried to bring the light into. She should have been on that show. Matter of fact, they should have auditioned her for that show. Maybe her message and what she wanted to say would have came across a little better, because she would have had a group of women that understands that kind of lifestyle and what comes with it. You understand what I'm saying?
absolutely, I agree.
If
Hello,
she,
ladies.
hi,
Sorry to interrupt y'all.
I don't
Hi,
Um,
how you
Nicola said
doing?
that
I'm
she's
good.
selfish. I don't
Hey
think
Shamika, how
it's
you
coming
doing?
from a
All right.
Nicola said that she was selfish. I don't think that she was being really selfish. I really think she was just trying to shine a light on what the wives really go through and how they can fall in the background and just be, in the background. And then,
But
because the groupies are some of the main attraction that comes with the stardom that basketball players get. You see a lot of them, you hear a lot of them, they got a lot of clout too. Internet makes them really popular and things like that. So she might have felt that way.
I totally understand, but she
I mean,
also
I
got
don't.
to understand what type of game that she in.
Yeah,
You know what I
you
mean?
know what it comes with it. I agree. I agree. You know what
What you
comes
say?
with it.
Go ahead, Shamika. Let me hear your perspective. What?
Okay.
So I actually watched the interview, and I think before I watched it, like I felt a certain way, like, oh, she disrespected her husband. And I still feel like what she said was disrespectful. And if I was a man, I would have been embarrassed. But watching her and what she was talking about and what led up to what she was saying, I kind of understand. I don't think that where she said it was the right place to say it. But when she was talking about how, okay, well, she'll be out with him, and it's like, he has a bunch of women around him, just the disrespect that the women show her. Like what she said, I guess, like she's not even there. And it was one situation where they were in a car, and some woman walked up to the car, opened up the door, and she was like, basically, hold on a second, what are you doing? And the female told her, oh, well, you signed up for this, so deal with it. So I think, like I said, I don't think that it was appropriate to say, oh, I want the male attention, in front of the world to hear and see. But when she was speaking on the fact that he's a really nice guy and he doesn't really check the women that approach him, it's been times she said where he doesn't even introduce her. She has to introduce herself. I kind of looked at it differently and what she was saying. I
Well,
don't
then
think
that's a marital problem. That's not an outside problem.
exactly.
And that does it. What her comments were very disrespectful, inappropriate. It was the
Mhm.
wrong place, wrong time. It was on national TV or whatever it was on. Well, I caught it on Instagram. But what I'm saying is, like, come on. You just got to know that that's just going to come with it. And I mean, you can't check every group because it's out. I mean, he can do better, I guess, but you just can't check everyone.
You
No,
really
I
can't.
agree with you. I think
And you
that I
gotta
think
be,
she's very insecure.
That's
I
what it
think
she
that
is.
she's insecure.
And then
She
she was
says
with.
she has. I'm
I'm
because
sorry.
listening.
she's made it that
I'm go
way.
ahead. I'm listening.
No, she says that she has anxiety problems, and I
Hmm.
think that all kind of makes you understand. Well, if not makes you understand, but you could get a bigger picture of where she's coming from. She's not all right with herself.
You're right.
So
That's true.
so clearly, if she's saying, "Oh well, I want these men to pay me attention the way the women they're paying my husband attention," you know why? Because she did say the men respect her husband, but the women disrespect her. I say that's a her issue,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something that she really needs to work on. She needs to get to the core of that. One thing I will say, his mother was sitting next to her when she said that. And I was like,
Mm.
let me see if his mom is going to check her. Well, what she did, she was graceful with it. She grabbed her by the hand and said, "Oh, no, you don't want that attention. You're married. You're married." And then
Right.
Jada was like, "Yeah, girl, you married. Men been saying you're beautiful or
That
whatever."
was a sign then to just shut up. Like, look,
Yeah,
let's grab your
exactly.
hand, relax. We right here. Some millions of people watching this right now. And that was the moment of her anxiety kicking in and the insecurities displaying right there on national TV. And
That's
so
right.
I agree with all the ladies on the panel, but even us, that's why self-love is so important that we even uplift each other. I mean, I hear a lot about the brotherhood and how men should do things, but women, there is a lot of things out there for women, but I'm not even just talking about a feminine movement. I'm talking about a self-love movement
Mhm.
because we have issues that goes on, and men don't understand like the pressures of life because I literally lived in a place where I was getting sexual harassed every day. And if I could just throw sexual harassment charges on guys, I would. But but to a man, they don't think that's sexual harassment. But to me, it was like a lot of sexual harassment. And I'm a normal person. I don't have no money. I don't have any stardom. But she wouldn't like it. She couldn't even understand or wrap her mind around that type of attention. And today she witnessed it.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
think that's what she really wanted, though.
Can y'all
I
hear
don't.
me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hello?
No, no, we still here. I mean, I totally agree with you saying. Um, a lot of times it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You know, her saying that she won't, the same amount of attention from men that he gets from women. I think that's just real inappropriate. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that she wants to be presented to every groupie, but you got to be careful with some of these fans. I mean, you hurt some of these fans' feelings. They go on Twitter and YouTube and Facebook petition. You
Stalking.
know,
It's a
yeah,
lot of kind of things
and
that
ruin
go on behind that. It's just not even just internet stalking. It's real life stalking. People try to hurt you. You just got to allow what comes with his stardom come with it. And she needs to work on self. They need some marital counseling. And I think she really meant, well, I'm just going to assume she meant that how would he like it if she was the star and men did it to her? That's what I want to say she meant.
Exactly. Yeah,
You know
that's
what
what I
I'm
think she
saying?
meant too.
understandable. That's understandable. But we can we
Not
can
like,
we can
yeah,
sit here and we could do shoulda, coulda, woulda, if, and all that or whatever. The point is, this is a part of the game, and them
true.
kind of comments will mess up his head, and he need to keep his head in the game.
And that's absolutely true. And you're a big distraction right now because people know Steph as the greatest point guard, shooter, or whatever. And it's not good for his image right now. It's a lot of things that go behind it. It's an image thing too.
Most
True.
definitely, most definitely. We don't want him to get sidetracked. We don't want him to get
Self-love
thrown off
is
his
big.
game.
It's a key factor in this whole conversation. She needs more self-love. She's looking for outside things that she needs to work on some more inside things.
That's why she should
Right.
have kept that conversation behind the door.
What's that?
Hey Nicole,
She.
how you doing, Nicole?
Hey,
Oh,
Nicole.
What's going on, Sheet Stay Sleep? Thank you for the link. It's about
That's
time.
okay.
Send the
I
link.
appreciate you.
Just playing. How y'all doing?
Hey, how you doing? But
Right.
Nicole,
How
I,
you
I kind
doing?
of disagree with you. You said she was being a little selfish. I wanted you
Wait,
to
hold
elaborate
on.
on that.
Wait, you disagree? You disagree? Wait, who
When
spoke?
you
Oh,
said in the chat, you said she was being selfish. I want you to elaborate on what you meant on how she was being selfish. I just want your perspective.
I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. You didn't. She didn't get where I just did. I just did a video that I cut up and into 3 parts today, and I said
I didn't
she
see
didn't
your
get what
video.
she
That's why I'm
needed.
asking. I didn't see your video and I wasn't aware of it. So that's why I was asking if you could
I'm about to explain
elaborate
some of it.
on what
Then
you were talking about.
I'm about to explain. I'm about to explain some of it. So the selfishness she has, yeah, anybody can see. She didn't get what she is with her cooking and her CoverGirl stuff by herself. She's not Aisha over there, light skin Aisha. It's like a lot of. Is that me making that
Yeah, that's your
noise, or
background.
I can't tell?
It's yours. Just mute
Oh,
out your
my bad.
background.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I had my window down, but yeah, she's not Aisha by herself. You know,
Mhm.
she is Aisha Curry, Mrs. Curry. He's in the middle of playoffs right now, is he not?
Right, he is. He is. Absolutely
Okay,
he is.
so regardless of when this was recorded or whatever, you know, you are a wife, you're a mother. You're supposed to hold down your position. She doesn't take direction very well. She
Mm.
doesn't take direction. A woman who doesn't take direction is uncoachable. She should know this. She's the NBA basketball wife.
Right. I
Most
mean, she
wives
had a
in that
selfish
position take
moment
direction.
probably, but I don't think she
No,
was being selfish with her feelings because those was her true feelings. Her feelings wasn't selfish, but the moment she took was selfish
the
because
thing is, your
I
true
think
feelings can get you divorced and broke.
true. And I mean, but at what I guess at what cost are you gonna give up all that by saying what you said? But I mean, let's just put aside the money and the fame for a minute. We're talking about married people. You know what I'm saying? That I mean, we understand his position, and that's why I can't really say it's selfish because even though he's the star, this is her exact point about her not getting the attention that she wants. Now, even though she didn't really, even though I don't feel like she was saying like from a million thirsty men, I'm just saying how the fact that basketball wives really do fall in the shadows of their husbands. And this is why, you know, Shaunie O'Neal shined a light on that. And she did a really good job at that. I don't think she was being selfish. I just think that the moment she took at that time during playoffs could have been, you know, they could have held off that interview and she could have said it after playoffs. But I think her feelings were very real and it should be acknowledged.
Her feelings are real. That's the problem. When your feelings are that real, where it's damaging to a man's brand, you have to go.
Absolutely. But at the same time, what
So,
about
and
her brand? I mean, okay,
I'm not
so
saying you
how
have
do
to
we
go as
know
far as like a.
where does he stand? He hasn't even spoke yet. That's
He
the
don't
whole
have to
thing.
speak. If you can't see that, that's
We're not
disrespectful.
arguing. We're just
And that's I'm not saying she gotta.
okay.
I'm not saying she gotta go as far as like getting a divorce, but I'm on see Boogie side on this thing. We gonna have to take your ass to the closet.
Mm.
Okay, we used to say take your ass to the shed. That's what we used to say back in
And
the
that's
day.
a problem too. Why do we have to
Okay,
stand down?
like
Because see, I understand there is an image. It's like a double-edged sword for me. Like I agree with you also. I'm not even disputing your point because I understand it and I also, I see your point. I just like a double-edged sword for me. And this is where her husband should have come into play way before this interview. Because I'm sure he was aware of it.
yeah, he was aware of it. He sent the video of his mother drunk after drinking a whole bottle of champagne and embarrassing the hell out of him on the video.
Mm.
So I talked about that in my video as well. You know, well, one of them, I don't remember which one, but
I have
3
to
of them.
catch it. I have to
But
catch your video.
yeah, but I'm saying like his mother showed signs of, some kind of signs where she needs liquid courage to talk to her son about him cursing at a game. You know, and he was like really mad that day. But I mean, he rarely does that, I guess. But for what I know about him as a player and everything, but you know, she said on the interview within the 27 minutes, I think was at the end or something, right before she started crying about female, us sharing our truth and all this.
Right. I agree with you.
Hello.
I mean, I hear
Okay,
you. We
I'm
hear
about to
you.
go out and come back in. I just got a call, so I got to go out and come back in. I'll be right back.
I
Okay,
agree with
okay.
Nicole. I agree.
Welcome, love, wisdom.
Hey, Love Wisdom. Hi, sis.
How y'all
Welcome, welcome.
doing?
How you
Pretty
doing?
good, pretty
Um,
good.
Good. Um, I look at it this way. Don't be a hard rock when you really are a gem.
Hmm.
Good talk.
My bad, y'all.
When Aisha first came on the scene, people forget that when she came on the scene, she came across as a very beautiful, intelligent, nurturing, modest woman.
Right.
She even told women that they should be more modest in their attire, leaving something to the imagination for their men.
Exactly.
And brothers gravitated to that.
Hmm.
Sisters, not all, felt some type of way about that. And because of the way she came across to the community, brothers put her in the category of this is the type of woman I want to bring home to my family. This is
Right.
my leading lady. This is my potential wife. So she was not put into that category of being that young lady when Stefan was playing the Cavaliers. She was sticking her tongue out and doing all that crazy stuff to him. Brothers didn't put her in that category because she wasn't a thought. So Aisha is desired, but she's not desired in the way she wants to be. And I think sometimes we have to be careful with the type of attention that we want because all attention, not good attention. Okay.
Back.
She, once you're a wife, you're off the market. So your attention should only, the only person you should be concerned about attention is from your husband.
Exactly.
Because right now you off the market. The men are not going to pay you the same attention they would if you were single. And also, Stefan is a respected man, not just in the NBA, but he's respected in the community. He's not giving out NBA dick. He don't have a bunch of out of wedlock kids with these thoughts out here like some of these NBA players are. Everywhere he goes, his wife and kids are there. When he's at press conference, little Riley sitting on top of the desk with him. He has always shown to be a doting father and a doting husband.
Right.
So he loves you. He cares for you. So when you say something about, well, you know, women throw themselves at his feet, they're going to do that because he's a stellar athlete. He's a celebrity. He's a multimillionaire. They're not looking at him because they find him attractive. They're looking at that NBA money. How am I going to slip this man up so I could get some of that NBA money? And she has to understand, once you married that man, you have now become part of that particular world. For example, it's kind of like Denzel Washington and his wife. When they first got together, the women were very disrespectful. They would be out for dinner and they would just try to take pictures, and he intervened and said, no, I'm with my wife. And after a while, once she got used to it, she had to intervene and say, no, excuse me, I'm his wife.
Then
So
Steph Curry must step up then as a husband. She can't carry all the weight. It's like we putting down so hard on Aisha. And you just made the greatest point about Denzel, how he used to stop women like, listen, I can't take pictures, I can't sign autographs, I'm not here for that, I'm with my wife. And then the wife intervened. Then I not want her stuff. She even said that he was a nice guy. Now he must play his part. He is a husband.
No.
He's not just a basketball player either. He's not just a
2 points.
basketball player, ladies. He's just not the star. He's her husband first. He is her husband first. And we're just looking at his stardom, his fame, and all this stuff. But we have to acknowledge that he's also her husband. She's not just his wife. Like, why
Sorry, I got 2 points to make before you go on, because I was still talking about the selfish thing, but moving away from the selfish thing, because she has a brand she wants to uphold as well. But I was saying the selfish thing because she got her brand off of his name. She didn't get her brand off her own name. That's what you have to remember. When you go back to Denzel Washington and his wife as an example, we can't hold Aisha Curry to a certain level and when it suits us as women. We can't hold her to a level when she's
I'm not even on
about
no feminist talk right now. I'm not
talking about feminist. I'm not talking about feminist talk. I'm not a feminist, straight out. I can't stand feminists. And that's why I'm saying this. Because I don't want my words misconstrued or any other streams or any other videos
But
or
when is
whatever.
anybody going to acknowledge the fact that he's also her husband? He's not just the NBA star. He's just not
that in
that.
my video. I acknowledge that in my video.
I haven't seen your video, but what I'm saying is other women have to understand he's just not a basketball player. He's also her husband. We just can't. Oh, he's the wife, and she knows that. She know all of that. I'm pretty sure she's aware. She was aware in that conversation, in that interview. But I don't think her message came across wrong. And I agree with Kels. Okay, go ahead, you guys.
Because she's wrong. Period. The first point I was making, we can't hold Ayesha Curry to a certain level when it suits us as women. Oh, she's talking about being modest. She's talking about, this is what men are looking for as far as a wife. I remember that when men were saying, that's what I'm looking for in a wife, that image,
let's
that
not pick
brand.
apart her interview and just pick and choose what we also want to listen to too.
I'm not
we gotta listen to the whole. We have to listen
You're right. We don't have to do that because she called what her husband does disgusting. She called her husband's cool, calm, collected demeanor. I literally said that. Cool, calm, collected demeanor. They asked her about that. How do you feel about your husband being cool, calm, and collected? She said no. She said it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Right.
That's what she said. That's not friendly. That's what she said. She didn't say, oh, he's friendly and all that. She did say he was friendly, but she turned around at the end and said, it's disgusting. It disgusts her.
Being overly friendly, same thing. Cool, calm, collected.
What are you talking? Are you kidding me? Overly friendly and disgusting are the same thing? Are you kidding me?
No. Hold on. I'm talking about cool, calm, collective. That type of attitude and demeanor. That's a guy being overly friendly. Like, we say that. A guy just being too friendly and, you should know, but he should also know better. That's why we got to hold him accountable for the way she's acting as a wife right now because he just focused. He got honestly, he's a husband too. He just can't. He is in the limelight. He's a basketball player. He has to stay focused in the game. But you also is a husband. You have to juggle. Everybody juggle things in life, and he has to be accountable for things he's doing too.
He's the father. He has a brand. Right. He has a marketable brand. You have to also remember your brand and your image is very important. Steph Curry is marketable to teenagers because he looks like a teenager.
Right.
Okay.
That's why I say we have to take the whole conversation.
He looks like a senior in high school.
And we have to really listen to it because just like I can't even think of her name that just came in. She even said when she first came into the interview that she is a modest woman and all that right there. She said a whole lot in that interview, just not her just wanting attention.
Okay, I just said that. She said her husband's demeanor, that she wasn't speaking to his demeanor. I specifically said this earlier, whatever, in one of the clips I have, but she said that I said it would go in, what she said went against his personality.
Oh, okay.
She's not going against his, that's when you are digging at a man's spirit. You're digging at what makes him what he is. You digging at the ingredients of the man you sleep in the bed with every night.
Now
that's why you're pissed off by that.
Yeah, because I see your point now. I do.
You see what I'm saying? That's a dangerous woman, right? In my opinion, I do. That's a dangerous woman, right?
She's very emotionally unstable, as we can all agree.
She's on medication.
Right. She's unstable, and she really needs help. And that's a personal issue. That's a marital issue.
Right. And that was the point. That was the point where I agree with Nicole as you're attacking that man's spirit, because my point was you came on the scene as a modest woman, and brothers respected that, and they respected Stephen, and they didn't approach you like they would a regular woman, because that's not the category they put her in.
Right.
Now for you, right. Now you want hard rock attention.
Right.
Okay. You want attention that you're not ready for. And it goes to Nicole's point. Right. Both of you have a brand, and both of you are reflections of each other. So when you're saying that, well, the way women throw themselves at his feet, I kind of want the same thing. And it's like, no, you don't. Because if you have a whole bunch of men throwing themselves at your feet, how does that make your man look? because you're just embarrassing him by saying, well, I find it disgusting. So let's just, for example,
I mean,
if
she
you have,
went for the juggler. She dig deep because she know him personally, and we don't.
no, I get that. But see, what I want sisters to do is, sometimes what sisters do, sisters sometimes move the goalpost. See, we could call, at this point, Stefan is not the bad guy here. You see, she said something that was out of pocket. See, some things need to be sacred. You ain't got to tell everything all the time. Sometimes you got to keep stuff in the household. We all get insecure as women. But when you are in a particular tax bracket, when you're in a particular position, okay, there's certain things you should not be saying because it makes your brand look bad. Now, he's a husband. And if he's doing everything for you and everything for the family, and for you to say that, he may look at himself and say, damn, well, what am I doing wrong? Like, this is what we have. What am I doing wrong? It may make him feel inadequate. Sometimes as women, we do have to, the tongue can cut very deep, and we have to be careful with what we say. Even if we're saying it in jest, we got to understand the people that we represent as well as ourselves. Because what she just did, she actually gave some of these mid-talent incel men a whole bunch of ammunition. Because now it's like, see, you can never please a woman. It don't matter what we do. We can never please her because we give her the world, and she like, well, it ain't deep enough. So it's like, we got to be careful with what we say, because our image and who we are as women, especially Black women, it can be taken in a whole different way. We got to be careful with what we say. So I agree with Nicole 1,000%. You carried yourself in a certain way, and brothers respect that. Now you're saying, well, technically, I don't really want it that way. I want that hard rock attention. I want that thought attention. No, you don't.
And I think that's where she was misunderstood, or where her words came out wrong, where she was probably trying to say that how about if she was the star, and that type of attention she was getting, that type of, I don't know.
That's hopes and dreams and fantasy. They don't count. They don't count in this situation. This is the planet Earth. We ain't on Mars and Uranus or Venus or Neptune, nothing like that. We on planet Earth right now. And she know what the hell she is. She know what she signed up for.
Everybody
all the other stuff, all the other stuff is fantasy and dreams.
Still a human. I feel like I agree with Gab TV. I mean, his image, his brand is not tarnished from this one little interview. We have to relax and give people a break. Right. We can make a million conversations on this or whatever. We do have to relax, and we have to allow them as a married couple to handle that. We can talk about it all day.
Didn't we just have a draft recently? I don't know who it was, hockey, football, whatever. We had some kind of draft recently, right?
I don't
know. NFL draft.
Huh? NFL draft. You see how I follow? I don't know. So they had an NFL draft recently. You don't understand how media works. Media works as an influencing.
I don't understand how media works.
Okay, I'm saying how media works, because you can't assume the way that media works. We just saw it. You saw it when she first came out, what Love Wisdom was saying about how she was such a modest woman. She's honorable. You had dudes talking about, like, this is the type of woman I want. Not necessarily as far as looks, but her character. Her character's in question. And at this point, in my opinion, her character's in question. Things that she does. Her loyalty's in question.
I don't think her loyalty or her character's in question, in my opinion. I think she just had a slight emotional breakdown.
That can cost you your career, your life.
Right, but I don't think. I mean,
the way that media works is the influence.
And the way media works, like any story, we'll talk about it today. Tomorrow will be the next thing. This
You're not looking at the big picture, though. You're not looking at the big picture. I was trying to make a point. The NFL draft just occurred. You had young Black men being put into the NFL draft. Don't you think somebody like Ayesha Curry or any of these young Thadianas that don't want to be a Thadiana no more, that could be influenced to them? I'll talk shit. I'll get into the relationship, get into the marriage, because women do this. Let's not play like women don't do this. I'll get into the marriage with this dude, $20 million, $30 million contract or whatever. And then when I feel like I can flip the script, why? Ayesha did it. Jada really don't need to be talking to nobody about nothing. She need to look at her kids.
That interview was really like almost a setup. Like, I felt like her marriage is not even.
I look at all that. It is a serious issue. And the fact that people are saying like, oh, well, this will blow over or whatever. This ain't got nothing to do with his brand or whatever. It ain't really about his brand either. It's about the team's brand. He has to go in the locker room with other men. And they looking at him sideways like, that's how she talked to you? You know, like that's what's going on, dog.
Not even teammates can talk like that. So the stories that come out
No,
of
that's good. Let me touch on that real quick, because what Nicole is saying is true, because that's what happened with LeBron and Delonte West when LeBron was in Cleveland. Delonte West was sleeping with his mother, and that broke up the team.
Oh wow!
So that's the truth.
I never heard of that story. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And a lot of people knew about that before it even came out. People knew about that type of stuff before it even happened. They had rumors about that out here about LeBron, and he wasn't even out here at the time. There's all kinds of rumors that go around in Hollywood about these celebrities and these athletes and stuff. Like, he out here now, so it's really like stuff, circulating. But besides that, when that type of stuff gets out, that affects your brand. That affects it's a company. You're in a business. She's in a business. She doesn't realize that she is just one cog in the machine.
Right.
If that one cog in the machine, if you got a bunch of screws you need to make a wash machine work, and one screw is loose and it falls out, aka Aisha, and she want to go off and have a brain fart on Red Table Talk, that can affect a brand internationally.
They have to stop doing unrehearsed interviews, first of all, with these celebrities. They really got to stop that. Unrehearsed interviews is a no-no. She keeps doing it, and I don't understand why she's putting people to the table, putting them on the spot like this, because she was definitely not ready for it.
Right. I agree with that. Her body language told you that she wasn't ready.
Yeah. Shaking.
You watch that video with the sound off, you'll see she wasn't ready. If you watch her body language, her eye movement, she wasn't ready for that type of thing. If you watch the demeanor of Steph Curry's mother, you can tell she has been groomed and trained in that type of position. That's why she's been married 30 years. That's why she doesn't have much of much really to say as much. She went on his mother. That's Steph Curry's mom. Right. She was talking about how she wanted to be rebellious. Who asked her the question about the rebelliousness? That was Willow Smith, a child, pretty in my eyes, barely an adult. She's asking her, which tells me that some of these questions they had before, already set up before, but the people asking the questions is also an important thing to look at. You have a child asking a grown 53-year-old woman,
so that's a
about, were you rebellious? Were you rebellious at that time? And she's like, yeah, I was rebellious, but she had to realize she had to sit her ass down because she was still married and she was going to be Dale Curry's wife. So she sat down and figured that out. She was kind of telling Aisha, yeah, you should try to do the same thing when she touched her hand. I saw that. That's an older woman. That's the wisdom. Right there. Yeah. You saw wisdom within 2 seconds. Right. Aisha didn't pick up on that. Why? Because Aisha is, in my opinion, she's on the verge of being histrionic and narcissistic. I'm just gonna put it out there. That's just how I see it. And that's a dangerous woman to be around when you're in that type of industry, Hollywood, movies, music, whatever, entertainment. It's dangerous.
Yeah, she's most likely to leak a lot of information.
Hey,
right.
I agree.
Excellent,
you're right.
Excellent point, because like the old people would say, loose lips sink ships. And it's like, if you are that, like, if you're that comfortable, even though we know she wasn't prepared, but she was still comfortable in telling the information. Exactly. It can become problematic. And I think that his brand is not going to be tarnished. Like, they're going to be okay. But it's a teachable moment to women. It's a very teachable moment to us that we have to.
For herself. Hopefully for her.
Right. Especially for her. It's a teaching moment to know when to fold them and when to hold them. Especially when you're in a high profile marriage. Everybody want to be in your business. And people are trying to cut you and dissect you so they can either twist your words or start some shit that can mess up your relationship.
Did she just have a baby? Someone in the chat said she's going through postpartum. Did she just have a child?
I think she just had a child.
And that's another key factor. Like, she was
key factor. Like, she shouldn't be on. She shouldn't even be on that.
She shouldn't even been there. If that,
Exactly.
yeah, postpartum was a big part of it, she definitely shouldn't have been on at that table.
Let me
Very
ask a question. I'm sorry to
emotional.
interrupt y'all, but I know that Nicole said earlier that when towards the ending, she said that she found his character with him being nice, overly nice, whatever, disgusting. So now I'm thinking about what I saw. I don't think, me personally, now I didn't catch the ending where she said that, but I feel like what she said at first, I was like, oh, she was just comfortable. It was ladies around. Now I'm kind of thinking it was deliberate. She purposely said that. So the question is, well, the question I have is, what what is going on, even though it's none of our business,
Right,
but
that's what
what
I
is
said.
going on to the point
That's
that
what I
you
said.
would publicly get on TV and you would say something like that? You know that's your husband. You know your husband. So you had to have known that that would hurt him in one way
Right,
or the other. So yeah, it seems kind of spiteful.
right. It's
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
viewing
yeah,
behind the scenes. Definitely viewing
yeah.
something.
That could have been a conversation that they had behind closed doors. Because,
Mhm.
like I
Right.
said, that kind of shenanigan thirst trap comment, you know what I'm saying? We need to keep his head in the game, and he
Has he
doesn't
cheated
need
and it hasn't
that.
came out? See, that's the thing that we don't know.
That's what
You
I'm
know what I'm
thinking.
saying? You know, he might have cheated.
Yeah,
And see, we don't
yeah.
know. Like, we just don't know.
I mean,
She
And
used the
women,
word
even if he
disgusting.
did
like,
cheat, even if he did slip, either respect it or shake it. You in the
right?
game. It is what it is.
Right.
It
If he
is. You're
did cheat,
right.
she needs to focus more on the bag, aka keep your
Right.
mouth
Right.
shut when you in the presence of women that are unapproved. I call them unapproved women for a reason.
Right.
Half the
Fact.
table was unapproved to talk about or to even half of you. If you unapproved, you know you unapproved to be having this conversation.
Especially
And
Jada
they should have
Pinkett. I
been.
don't
They
know
should have
where
been
she
holding their
comes
finger
from.
up. They should have been holding their finger up like the usher at church. Like, hey, Aisha, calm down. Pull that back. It was heavily edited as well. That's another thing. So there could have been other things that came out that we'll probably never see if they don't put out the actual the full length version, because 27 minutes is kind of short. But in my from what I'm looking at, like the way they edit things a lot. And they quickly moved to different things. They were trying to keep it light, but Aisha was, in my opinion, she was like dark cloud in the room, a little dark storm cloud in the room.
So maybe we should
Look at how
just give
she was
her
sitting
a
there.
little break, maybe a little bit, because people are
Yeah,
saying that she just gave birth and
yeah,
postpartum took a big, hit.
Yeah, that's serious.
yeah. That is
That's not
serious,
a game.
and that's even
A
more reason for
postpartum is no
her.
game. It's definitely serious.
Yeah, but she also said I think she either said she took medication or I think she said she took medication. I don't think she's on medication right now because she has the breastfeed and everything. That wouldn't be good. She'd have to like pump and dump, her breast milk. But if she is going through issues where she, requires therapy,
Damn.
even Steph's sister said, Stadell, she had like 5 concussions. She had to go through therapy for different things that she's dealing with. She had not only the
Someone in the
physical
chat said I
ailment,
was reaching because I said
but other
that
things.
postpartum took a place in this. How is that reaching? I mean, I think that's a man. Let me say that again. I don't think men are aware how much postpartum affects women emotionally. And how that could have been a big factor of the reason why she's so loose with her lips.
Which is even more reason why she shouldn't have been there.
And that's why I said he was aware of the interview. Who gave the green light on that? You see, like things are prepped up before ahead of time, so I'm sure he was aware.
I think he knew about the interview, and I think that's why the his mother was there to
Yeah,
keep a handle on
Yeah,
things. But
right.
right.
Yeah, I
unfortunately,
agree.
it didn't turn out that way. But yeah, that's why the mom was sitting right next to her.
Yeah, I saw that
Nah,
too. And
yeah,
her
and she
sister on the
did,
other side.
and I have
Hmm.
to agree. Gracefully, just tapping her on the hand and just relax. Don't say no more.
Hmm.
Relax. But postpartum is definitely serious, and it does affect women in an emotional way. It messes up our mental state, how we deal with our
It does,
children. It's a lot of
but
things
that
that go
does not
behind it.
justify. That does not justify going on the
It
show
doesn't.
saying that you
Someone
want
should have never
other
gave
men's
that green light for
attention.
her to sit at that table. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
That's all I'm
Right.
saying.
That
And
does
I
not
agree with all
justify
the
what she's
women. I
saying.
mean, I see all perspectives. No one should have never gave her the green light.
And that also means that, it wasn't that much wisdom
What
to
she
go
should have
around.
focused on was her brand. And then, that's what she should have focused on. If she wanted any attention, she should have focused more on her brand on that type of
Right.
platform.
Yep, I would have done that. Focus on the business,
Right.
focus on the
Right.
bag. Because, and then
that's
at
what
the same time, as you focus on your bag, you got to keep mentioning,
ain't bad.
my husband, you got to keep enforcing that, because you have young girls in middle school, high school that watching that type of thing. And if you want to reinforce marriage and you want to uphold that standard that she came in the game with, then yeah, you got to keep saying, yeah, my brand. She could, like I said, she could be out here like Rachel Ray with all the pots and pans and kitchen
Right.
utensils and tools and
Right.
stuff. She could have her name on that stuff. He's the one that made C Boogie said. He's the one that made Under Armour sneakers popular.
That's the only
And he's marketable.
Because she
And
was
he's marketable.
out of line. It was out of line.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I hope that she learns something from this, and I hope that she doesn't that she's not too quick to jump, because another thing what happened with business is, you have contracts you have to sign. You have certain honor codes within the contract, certain regulations and stuff. If you get divorced for whatever reason, or there's some kind of issues in your marriage, that can affect your contract. That affects your business.
Brother Rob said that we're making excuses for inappropriate comments, and she must be held accountable. I mean, she's definitely being held accountable. They're dragging her. She's getting the backlash of her comment. So I feel like from a woman's perspective, that's why women are on the panel. We're giving a perspective, because men do not understand what women really go through. And as Muhammad is the one said, women go through a lot, just not emotionally, psychologically, physically. We're thrown into a lot of things men wouldn't even understand. We raise children. Yeah. We run a lot of things. We just not no man's arm piece. We're not none of I don't understand.
See, that's what she wants to be, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she wants to be.
She wants to be an arm piece. That's the problem. The main problem. I should have, I didn't think about that until you just mentioned that. That's what she wants to be. When she made that comment about, why the niggas don't want me no more? Why they don't want me? They don't want you because you off the market. And if you don't want to stand there as a symbol of greatness, you gonna fall.
That's Kel's chat. I said that same thing, sort of kind of in Kel's chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's how I see it. Like I agree with you on that point, because like she want to be, she want to be a Tatiana, but Tatiana ain't getting what you got.
Yeah.
Tatiana ain't out here like that.
And a goal for a lot of women is marriage.
Yeah.
That's not the end all goal, but the goal is to be a wife.
Mm-hmm. If it was me and I had her looks, and if I look like her, I would have my ass over in Asia somewhere selling some cosmetics, because they buy up cosmetics, especially when they know you back by a big
Shawnee O'Neal. She could have took a page from any woman's book that's in that league. I mean Shawnee O'Neal made the perfect, she just shined a light so perfectly on Basketball Wives, and she tried to, bring out the women's talents and stuff, not hiding the fact that, women in the NBA were just, wives. We do a lot more than we don't just sit at games, that type of thing.
What I find interesting is this. Now, like, we talk about her. She's in the spotlight. She's a basketball wife. She also has her own projects going on, a mother, right? So with this situation, I think about all the women who are married, right? And how many of them go through this same desire. They have the kids. They're taking care of home. They're working, and it's like their husbands are out there. And no, the husbands are not famous. They're not making all of this money, but the husbands are out there. They're interacting with women every day. How many what we call quote unquote real women go through that type of thought process? Oh, I want to be out there. I want more men to be attracted to me. Or do you think this is just a basketball wife issue?
Well,
it's very
for
common.
example, I have a girlfriend of mine. August will be 3 years that she's married, and her husband, he's a vice president at a bank in New York. And I asked her one day, I said, do you ever feel insecure, because of your husband's position and what you're doing? And she said, yes, there are times where I do feel insecure, but she said, I have to remember that I'm the prize. Like, he chose me. So because he chose me, I have to play my position as his wife. I'm his better half. And now that she's a mother, it's even more into playing my position as a wife and a mother, because she said I'm a reflection of him. So if I'm trying to get attention from other men, then why am I married to him to begin with? She said, I had all that fun when I was in my 20s where men were buying me flowers and giving me all that attention. She said, men are still respectful, but they understand I'm married now. Yeah. And it goes back to what, me and Nicole was saying, that you're off the market, sis. Like, you're off the market. Like, the only thing that you should be focused on is like your attention, your desirability. That comes from your husband because he chose you.
But that goes along with picking the right woman too and the right spouse. Because because I'm gonna hear you out before I keep interrupting.
You made a great point. It's about choosing the right woman. Now, they got together when they were young. Now, apparently he felt as though she was the right woman. And that's who he married, and they've been together for 15 years and they have children. Again, it goes back to the image that you portrayed in the beginning, because trust me, if a man know you a thought, and I'm not talking about these thoughts out here that's getting pulled over by these simps. I'm not talking about them. A man that's true to the game and he has honor. If he know you a thought, he gonna only entertain you and he gonna keep it moving. You are not the type of woman that he is going to make his wife, because he has a vision and you're not going to be a part of his vision if you're going to cost him a headache and a damn bill.
Right, because every hustler gonna need a hustler like him.
Right, so he saw a woman that believed in his vision, and that's why they got married. 15 years in the game with a family, and you're still feeling insecure to the point where it's like, I want the men to give me attention when you've been off the market for 15 years. It's like, sis, what are you doing? It's not like you're newly divorced. You're off the market. What type of attention are you really looking for? Because it ain't really nothing out here. Women are trying to get married so they can get off the market.
Right, exactly.
That's facts.
I'm about to hop off of here. Sheep, stay asleep. Everybody on here, I appreciate it. I gotta go cook for my man.
Appreciate you, Nicole.
Appreciate you, Nicole. Have a good night.
He was texting me and everything. So I was like, where my steak at? I'm like,
stop playing. Stop playing.
But I'll holler at y'all. Y'all be good.
Right,
you too.
Bye.
That's so.
Mad love to Nicole.
Can I ask y'all a question? I just need to ask this because I'm hearing a little bit of caping for Ayesha Curry, and I feel like at the end of the day, she deserves the backlash she's getting because women would have never let Steph live it down if he would have made a mistake like this.
That's true.
I would have held his feet to the fire. So I feel, the title, I named it Know Your Role and Play It. Do y'all feel like Ayesha Curry is playing her role, or do she even know her role?
She knows her role. She just wants extra. It's more of a trying to bite off more than you can chew, because your role as, let's just exclude being a parent, but as a woman, as a wife, like, you balance the man, like, you enhance the man. So he chose you and you chose him. That's all that matters. Trying to focus on what the world is not giving you, that's a recipe for disaster. And sometimes sisters feel as though if the dudes are not talking to me, then there's something wrong with me. But you have to understand something. Brothers understand when you off the market, you off the market. They're not gonna holler at you like that. Unless you got some raggedy man out there who don't care. Most brothers is not gonna holler at a woman that's off the market because they know that's in violation. Now, unfortunately, we got women out here who don't care if you married or not. I want it, I'm gonna get it.
Right.
And that's where we got to keep it real.
Mm-hmm.
The same way a man is going to protect his wife, like, nah, that's mine, and make sure dudes are not going to step up to his woman. Then I think for us, we also have to make sure, you know, if you're a wife, that no, he off limits. Where you going? You got to deal with it. You're going to deal with this fist in your mouth because I invested too much time in this for you to come up left field, talk about you going to holler at my husband. You going to holler at this boot. Back up, or you're going to get your ass whooped because you're not going to mess this over. And I think.
Go ahead, continue.
And I think as women, we have to. Hey, this is your husband. Y'all married. Y'all a team now. Y'all gotta protect and watch each other. Play your position and stop biting off more than you can chew because that's not the type of protection you want.
Agreed. I just said from a woman's standpoint, I felt like I can emotionally connect with her a little bit because she was a little emotionally unstable at the time, and I feel like that's where I give her a pass at a little bit because she's probably under a lot of pressure, and we don't understand that, right? And she probably didn't. I'm looking at this chat at the same time. I'm sorry. She probably didn't realize what she was saying, and that's probably because she was heavily sedated on medicine. Who knows? But that's the only reason why I give her a pass. I don't give her a pass and it's okay to say what you said. You know, go ahead, girl, get all the attention you want. Be a thought. No, that's not what I'm saying. I don't agree with that. I don't subscribe to that. And I know people like tearing me apart in the chat or whatever, but that's not why.
Please don't pay attention to the chat, Rising Star.
Okay. I'm not giving her a pass because I'm saying. All right, but I only give her a slight pass because I can feel and see that she was not in the right state of mind at the moment, and that was very clear.
Me personally, I think in the beginning, I think a lot of men were holding her up to, I don't know, just a high regard. Now, and I think she went along with that. Because it was the men saying, oh, this is wifey type, this is the type you marry, you women need to learn from her. And now I find it funny that, okay, she's had that glory. She's had that glory. And then, you know, she ran with it. She started talking reckless, you know, and okay, fine. I'm the wifey type. I'm going to tell these other females, this is what you need to do, this, that, and the third. And I think, from what I saw, she's not happy.
Right.
She's not happy. And that she maybe she put too much responsibility on herself to uphold this facade that she's this, that, and the third, and maybe she never really was. Is what
I think men were giving her props before they even heard her speak because the fact that she is Steph Curry's wife, and because we know her in the public image as his wife, and she's never acted out before or said anything before, so they assumed that she was this, you know, the typical wife or the stand-up wife or whatever you want to say, you know, the woman that they would prefer. You know what I'm saying? Before she spoke. And that's where people got it misconstrued, and then now men in the same breath are tearing her apart. First you were giving her the praise, and now y'all tearing her apart.
That's how I see it. And you don't know. This could have always been who she was.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, how
this might not be new, just new to us.
Right. I'm saying I never seen her personally in interviews.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, chime in, great moderator.
No. This is kind of off topic. I just want to say it was an accident that I timed just be you TV. I'm sorry, Jess. I did not mean to time you out. It was totally an accident. I was trying to click channel so I could open up another YouTube page so that I could share this live. You didn't say anything wrong. You are good to go. I'm totally sorry. That's what I wanted to say.
All right, so you don't want to chime in on that question?
What was the question?
The question is Ayesha Curry, does Ayesha Curry know her role and is she playing?
No, after that little comment that she made, especially, what I'm saying, that comment about her wanting, attention, from other men, I feel like she really don't know her role. You know
We
what I'm
are
saying?
so
And I
hard
understand,
on each other sometimes. We have to relax as women.
but
We
it's
understand that
part
we
of the
have
game.
positions and roles to play, but we are really hard on us more than men are hard on us. And that's just listening and looking
Yeah,
at.
I understand, but it's part of the game. That kind of conversation could have been behind
Let's
closed
put
doors.
aside
And
his
then
stardom for a
when
moment.
your husband
He
hear
is
you
a
say
husband
something about you wanting extra attention from
first.
other men like he get from Goofy, that's a big distraction.
I kind of agree with Up Y'all. He got to partially take blame in this because who gave her the green light? She don't just
Well,
do interviews.
well, let me say this, Rising Star, because I notice you keep saying this. Let's take away the fact that he's a star. You can never take that away.
Right?
You can never
But in
take
her
that away.
household, he's not the NBA star.
Listen, at the end
Okay.
of the day, you can never diminish who a man is. Steph Curry was born a star. His father was an NBA star. So you can never diminish that. Don't ever say, let's take away that. You cannot do that
Right.
because that's part of who he is.
Right.
That's absolutely true.
So you
So
cannot
I treat you
diminish
like
that.
a king. I treat you like royalty all day, and I
No,
dismiss
that has
all
nothing
your.
to do with that. That has nothing to do with that. What I'm saying is, it has nothing. Him being that has nothing to do with what you're saying. What I'm saying is her being his wife. She has to always remember that she's not dealing with a regular guy.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
He's not a regular Joe. He's
that's
not
true.
a 9 to 5, work at 7-Eleven, stocking shelves type of nigga.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
so you have to act accordingly. There's a
Yes.
behavior that a woman must
My point
show
exactly.
when you're dealing with a certain kind of guy.
And
Now,
this
if
was
you
that's
dating
why
a
I keep
regular
going back
guy,
to
now if
who.
you dating a regular guy, then you can make those kind of mistakes because those mistakes don't affect him or
Right,
your relationship.
right.
You see what I'm
But
saying?
who gave this green light? That's what I'm saying. Like, who gave the green light? He knew that she was emotionally unstable. He knew the marital problems they were having. Yes, he's not the average Joe Schmo, but who gave this green light for this interview? And I have to agree with I can't think of the other mod that's in the other, not Love Wisdom, but this could have been who she always been. I mean, we were already
That's a
giving her
good point
praise.
too. That
You know what
Shanika
I'm
made.
saying?
That's true. That's true.
That's all I'm
That's
saying.
true.
I agree with you.
That's that. And if that's the case, that goes into a whole nother thing that I spoke about on my relationship series. With dating a representative.
Yeah.
She could have been playing a role the whole
The
time.
whole time, yeah.
Right.
And now that she's under pressure, she's showing her true colors.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's
Now we're on the same page, right?
that's what
That's crazy.
I was
That's
trying to
crazy though.
say. Yeah.
Hiding yourself for 15 years
And
though.
people will do it.
But
People
wait,
will because
But
right,
maybe she wasn't hiding herself for 15 years.
not
Maybe
from him.
he knows who she is.
Good
Exactly.
So
point.
we
That's a
don't
good
know
point.
who she is.
So
So
And so
Steph was
now,
keeping it on the low, but she's not.
but wait, DS, it's like you said this morning. You have some women who will suppress their femininity for resources.
Facts.
You see what I'm
it's in
saying?
terms of
So
money,
it
the
right.
lifestyle.
So the money, the lifestyle, the
Right.
perks. So she may have made some sacrifices to get to be Mrs. Curry, and now the pressure is at the front door, and it's like, well, I'm worth a couple of millions, so maybe it's time for me to kind of do a 90-degree turn. But she didn't anticipate the backlash she was getting from that 90-degree turn that she made.
Mhm.
And she responded on Instagram saying that, this is her truth. She's living in her truth. And it's like, aha.
Right.
Exactly.
So now it's, we go from being modest to now, this is how I feel. I'm going to say how I feel. And this is my truth. I felt empowered when I said what I need to say. Oh, so that's what it is now.
Mhm.
Now you don't have to suppress yourself anymore. But if that was the case, why did you suffocate yourself all these years?
Like you said,
The
the
goal.
lifestyle, the money.
Yeah, that was the
hurts.
goal, and she has it now. Like I said, I don't know what's going on in their marriage, but just what stood out to me is when Nicole said at the end that she said that his character, his niceness was disgusting. That's strong. That's
That's too
close to
fire.
damn near 8. So I question her now. I do. I really do
I've
question her
always known he
because
was a friendly, over friendly guy, and now that he's in this kind of limelight, I feel what you guys are saying. Maybe she should have just kept her mouth shut.
she
No,
definitely just
yes,
kept her mouth shut. But
may be overly friendly, but then again, you got to be careful, with these fans. You know what I'm saying? These fans, they could get real ratchet, and you hurt their feelings. They could go, on Twitter, you know what I'm saying, and blast you and try to petition you and try to tarnish your reputation. And he doesn't need that. He needs to keep his head in the game.
Right. I think if she felt as though she had to said something, it's delivery. You could have said, yes, as a woman, I go through insecurities. However,
Yeah.
all that is put to the side because I'm a wife and I'm a mother, and my husband supports me and I support him. That's all that matters. If she would have said something like that, we'd have been like, yes, that's how you do it. Cut it off at the pass. And there's no other reason to ask additional questions. But this child just went on. It's like turning on the water. It's like, oh, girl, no, you're doing too much. You're doing too much.
But
So,
see, you just said
Right.
something. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you just said something that I was just thinking. The maturity level. I would think that a woman who is mature, she would have already known how to handle that situation. Because honestly, Jada didn't ask her for that direct, answer. That's what she wanted to say. And to me, it comes across as a young girl who
Everybody
wants to be out there.
savvy
It
though.
doesn't
Like,
come
how many
across as
times
a
have you
grown
actually
woman.
seen her in front of the camera, just like having interviews? Everyone is in interview savvy. Like, she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready.
It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I understand that
Right.
she may have not been ready, but if Jada didn't ask her for that particular answer, why give it?
Right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, she needs more support, moral support. Because then I know that lifestyle I've seen where women say that they don't feel like they can connect with other wives. And I feel like if she would have had other wives, there for moral support, not the mother on that interview. I'm talking about prior. I don't know. Prior before this interview, maybe she would have been like more prepared to speak on how she really felt and delivered it better, because then wives would have been able to share their same experiences, because this is the point of like basketball wives and things like that, because wives go through this in the league.
But I do want to say basketball wives, they not even married. And then not only that, Jada,
Right.
That's not
she
true.
married.
What,
Them women on basketball married to
some
nobody.
women are basketball wives. Yeah.
I Jackie Christie, that's about it.
No, Shawnee O'Neal. It's a lot of them that were married. that
She was an
were.
ex-wife.
That word, yeah.
But what I'm saying is maybe she would have had some moral support. And like, because a lot of them feel like I've heard women say that they, when their men are away from games, it's just them and the children or just them by themselves or just some type of support besides the mother. She's not, she had wisdom. She had his mother there. She probably had her own mother there. I don't know. But I'm not giving her a pass for what she said as a wife. I'm giving her a pass because I know what she's going through emotionally.
I definitely think that she has some things going on, and that's why I always say mental health is important. But I also feel again, and it's something that you said, Ryzen, why if she says she suffers from anxiety, okay, say she is going through postpartum depression, why would the green light be given for her to go on there?
Who gave? Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I
This is
do
not
agree with
fair.
that because if she's not
I'm pretty.
mentally,
These people have agents, every kind of thing to their fingertips, every kind of resource, every kind of
you know,
person, and I'm sure somebody knew better to let her sit at that table.
but then I also have to wonder too, are her and Jada and Steph Curry's mother friends?
Could be because they had Jordan, that girl, on there at their show, and they were really close to her. So I'm pretty sure they had people up there that they're close to or want to shine a light on, because it's a lot of people that sat at that table once before that I've never heard of or wouldn't think to listen to before sitting at that table.
Well, I think she probably gave herself the green light.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like
That's how it's
anybody.
coming
I think she gave herself permission to go on. She a big girl. She gave herself permission to go on. And it's like what Tony Smith said. When people ask certain questions, you don't always have to answer them.
True.
So
Don't.
it's about Beyonce is a perfect example. Like,
You see them talk about her relationships. When they ask her about her relationships, what she
She's
say?
overly prepped, overly vetted. Come on, we can't even compare her to a Beyonce when it comes to an interview. I'm sure, like, we definitely cannot put her on the level of a Beyonce when it comes to an interview.
no, what I'm saying is Beyonce is an example of how you're supposed to handle questions and things of that nature.
That's true.
So, that's why I said this is a teachable moment for her. And maybe it is something that her and Stefan need to have a conversation about.
That go back to what you said about you said she gave herself the green light, and that's when she said that maybe she hid her true self for 15 years, and she probably still was hiding her true self until she sat at that table.
I guess her Instagram post basically tells you what you need to know. What is she learning? She don't think she did anything wrong.
I haven't looked at her Instagram.
Yeah, she doesn't think she did. As long as she spoke her truth,
and maybe that's
basically what
fine
it was.
in regardless of her backlash, and we don't know the insides of their marriage, and maybe that was a way. Maybe this was okay with Steph. We are making a big spectacle and all this stuff about how she was out of line. Maybe this was a way for her to express what she wants to feel. Maybe he gave the green light and said, hey, sit at that table and you express what you feel. You just never know, because as a star and that famous, he probably would allow her to do something like that for her own self, her own mind, her own mental state.
So you saying that he would allow her to get up there and say that she wish she was getting attention?
Sometimes we don't know, and sometimes men would just for her to have some type of relief, because
good wholesome wife, not his good wholesome wife.
We keep saying she's his wholesome wife because this is the image or the who said she's a wholesome wife because she's married to Steph Curry.
No,
that's the stuff we keep putting on her.
She portrayed herself as a wholesome, modest wife, like Nicole had put it, and then turned around and
she did come in
out there.
Yeah, she put that out there. So I guess I don't know. Maybe her husband wanted her to find a way to express herself. I don't know. I'm not giving her a pass for what she said. And She was already held accountable for it. People drug her up and down all day. I seen it all day with my own 2 eyes. But emotionally, she was very unstable. Very unstable. And if someone says she just had a baby, postpartum took a big hit at that table. It came out. It showed. And when you go
That doesn't give you say that you want extra attention
Come on,
from
I cried every day. I have 4 kids. I cried every day after every day for like a month. Like, yeah, I kind of would. I think that is a reason to give a woman a pass if she's going through postpartum. I cry almost every day.
Then if she's going through postpartum, she need to stay home, not do no interviews.
Well, who gave her the green light? Y'all saying she did. She gave herself the green light.
She gave herself the green light. She intentionally went on there just to say that. That's how I feel.
Oh, it's just like a
She
double-edged
could have
sword.
said no. She could have said no.
Right, she could have refused the interview. It's like a double-edged sword for me because I see how men are looking at it like, see, and this is why, and this and that. But nah, I feel like that was a way for her to express herself, and she did what she felt was true to her.
But you know what, that situation with the men, I feel like this. If you want to talk about the what do you call it, Met Gal?
She did not betray her
the
family.
red pills. I just feel like, listen, they're gonna take any example that anything that sheds light on their narrative, and they're gonna blow it up. I feel like we're all individuals. What she did, that's her issue. That's actually her issue and her husband's issue.
I said this
has
before.
no bearings on who we are individually as women.
Right.
She don't
speak for black women. She don't speak for all women. That's why I don't know how this became a women's thing. It's an Aisha's thing.
It's her issue. And I do believe that it's good in the sense that maybe it did come out, because that's a way for us to maybe evaluate ourselves, how we think. Sometimes we may think that we're these outstanding women or whatever like that, but yet we still have these other thoughts that don't match up with how we're telling people we are.
Exactly.
I had a boyfriend that told me if he don't have a woman that other men look at, he don't have a woman worth nothing. And so men put this kind of pressure on women too. So understand, like,
that as well.
You see what I'm saying? Like, men put that kind of pressure on women too. Like, if I don't have a woman that other men are looking at, so I see where she's coming from, and that's why I say we as women work so hard on one another. We like, and because she's a wife, like, yeah, she understands she's a wife. She's a wife for 15 years, longer than anybody probably on this panel. Because I ain't even married. Even I want to be. I'm not trying to bash no woman, because I want to be a wife one day. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just, she's been 15 years into a marriage, and like we all putting these sterile. Sorry, let me just be quiet for a moment.
All right, let me ask y'all ladies something. Do y'all feel the responsibilities of a girlfriend is the same responsibilities of a wife?
Absolutely not.
No.
Okay, so
not playing your wife. Men will have you doing wife.
So if that's the case, then we have to understand why they're holding Ayesha Curry to such high standard and why she's being bashed the way she is, because she's held
Let's give Steph some of this. We gotta give him some of this backlash, because end of the day, because like I said, there have been
accountability. What kind of backlash is he supposed to get?
I'm sure he has to take a lot of this too, because that's his wife, and he know his wife.
But see, sis, we can't do that, because what happens is when we start saying, well, he got to share some responsibility in this too, where clearly he's not in the wrong. No, that's us moving the goalpost, because if this was reversed, and if he was to come on, let's say, First Take on ESPN and said something to what Ayesha said, women will be on him like flies to shit. See, it don't matter. See, the black woman can't win one way or the other. Women will go hard at him and will hold him specifically accountable. Not her, him. We
It was
hold her feet
know.
to the fire because as a woman who came on the scene one way is now trying to get something that she's not ready for because she's been off the market for 15
She's
years.
imperfect. She's not perfect. She's not the perfect wife. We have to stop looking to other people's marriages and acting
No,
like we can take
no, no, no.
Okay.
I'm not doing that. No.
Okay.
I'm not comparing us to her. What I'm saying is, as women, if we're going to present, we're not perfect, but if we're going to present ourselves a certain way, there has to be a level of consistency.
Well, she
Yeah.
wasn't polished
That's
then. She was definitely not polished. She's
right. We're talking about consistency, especially the message you put out there before.
Right.
Now, I understand women, we get insecure. That's natural. Everybody get insecure. We get insecure. But the thing that we're saying is, when you off the market, see, this is where the disconnect come in. Off the market, which
maybe
means
at the moment she just forgot the cameras were rolling and she was just having a conversation.
No. We can't do that, sis. We can't do that.
Tear me up. All right, I'm just okay.
We can't. No, we can't do that, sis. Because the thing is, off the market, which means you are not going to get that same attention you would get if you were on the market. See, she wants.
Not true. I know a lot of wives that get that attention, but they gracefully, know how to deny and handle themselves accordingly, and she just didn't in that moment.
But I think
She's not. She's
off the market.
Yes,
The
she's
market.
off the market, but you look at her husband.
come
And
on.
it's the fact that her husband is respected. So the crowd that she probably, rolls around with, or the parties that they go to, the men there, they know that's his
Right.
wife. So they're not going to try to how they're not going to disrespect someone.
I said that
they
in Kale's
respect.
chat as well. I said because the respect out of him for the start, no man is just going to be like, yeah, let me go ahead and wink at Aisha today. No man is going to do that because he is respected, and I agree with y'all.
And so is she. See, this is the thing. She's respected as well. That's why they don't approach her in that way.
She missed
Now, right. She's not approached in that way because she is respected. Like, I think sometimes too, 'cause society, like, we kind of look at men like one track, like, well, they supposed to do this. Like, you have men out there that are respectful and have some decency to where it's like, all right, she off the market, she fine as hell. I want a woman like that I could bring home to my family. She good. Let me go find a woman like that. I'm good. You will have men with no honor that would try to talk to her and knowing she married. You got men out there who don't matter if you married. Well, we can still be friends though. You see this ring on my finger. I'm saying I'm married. But it's like, but we can still be friends though. See, those are men without honor. Men with honor are not going to approach her. This is why I say with ladies, what type of attention are you seeking? Because if you off the market,
you're right. Because I'm off the market, and sometimes I'm not mindful of what I put out there, and I have children, and I'm not a married woman. You know what I'm saying? So just as a mother, I have to be mindful of what I do and how I move. So yeah, I agree.
Right. So once you off the market, that attention is no longer there. Now, those of us who are single, the objective is to get chose. So it's like we are looking for a specific type of attention out here in society. But when you're in a relationship, when you're exclusive with somebody, and if you're married, you off the market unless the relationship is rocky and now you're preparing your exit strategy. You see what I'm saying? So this is why women are holding her feet to the fire, because it's like, sis, you married. We trying to get where you at. We trying to get married.
Who's the other one on the panel? I can't think of her name.
Dream of. What you want outside attention for?
Right. And that's why I have to agree with the other, the other lady that's
Shamika.
from the chant, who?
Shamika.
Yeah, Shamika. I have to agree with Shamika because we don't know the backdrop. We just don't know. What if she was really making her exit? That's why I just can't be so hard on her. I'm not saying what she said wasn't inappropriate. It wasn't the place. She could have talked to her husband about everything, all her concerns. But we don't know. But like you said, she's on Instagram pretending like what she said was okay.
One thing that she did say that I think is being missed, and I think that's something that women do need to talk about, is the fact that, it was said, the men are respecting her as well. But she wasn't talking about the men disrespecting her. She was talking about the women
Hmm.
being disrespectful and not showing her respect. And so I thought that was an
That's what I
interesting
said.
point
That
that
we as
she
women
made.
are so hard on each other. We're catty. We are we
Like,
are terrible to one another,
yeah,
especially.
like what I got from what she was saying is this: how the men know that Steph is married and he's married to me. They're not gonna disrespect him, and they're not gonna disrespect me by trying to holler at me or whatever. But the women are something totally different. They don't care if he's married. They don't care about if I'm in the picture. They're going to shoot their shot. They're going to do whatever it is that they have to do to get him. And she said it enough that it's like, okay, yeah, well, I can understand that point. But I don't agree that her, because it's confusing in a sense. Are you saying that you want this male attention to kind of, I guess, challenge him or be in competition with him, or do you want him to see how it
That's what
feels
I was
to
saying too.
have
I agree. That's
all
what I
these
was
men
think.
that's in?
That's what I think she meant. Like, I want him to see how it feels for me to get all this attention, and men throw themselves at my feet while you're there, and that type of thing. I don't think she really meant, and that's why we gotta relax on how we come with our words and how we coming across, because that don't help neither. It doesn't
Yeah.
help. I mean, I understand what the ladies are saying. I understand, as a married woman, you are off the market, and there is no other way around it. You shouldn't be speaking in that light. But we are so hard on one another, and we have to understand we don't know her position really. Period.
I will say that no matter what, I think we all agree. We're not saying that it was nothing wrong with what she did. We're all saying that, yeah, she was dead ass wrong. And I go even further to say that she was very disrespectful
Hmm.
to her
Yep.
husband. And where does that come from? Because that is your husband.
Right.
So where is it coming
Promised you a
from?
beautiful life.
I just don't look. I
Exactly.
don't. Some women are ready to jeopardize that beautiful life for peace, for happiness. She's not happy. Clearly, something's going on.
That's what I'm saying. It's coming
She's
from
like, nobody
some.
don't care about your money like that tough. Like, at this point, I'm sure she'll walk away with some millions and be fine. You know what I mean? If that was the case, but I don't think something else is going on. I don't
I
think it was just her just trying to be blatantly disrespectful. But then again, there was a point where, oh, continue.
That's interesting because I touched on that this morning in my live when I was saying how women women will leave a guy that looks good on paper.
Right. Nobody
They'll
don't
leave a guy who has the resources and all of that if he's not making her happy. But what I don't understand is you could have been said you wasn't happy, Aisha.
My point
care. Right.
exactly.
True.
But you waited until you got on TV to express how unhappy
We
you
don't
are.
know the disrespect. We don't just. I just feel like we don't know We don't know the full story. We just
Right.
don't know the
We only know what's
disrespect.
presented to us. You're
and
right.
Yes, we don't know
that's
we don't
true.
know the disrespect, because even though I'm not diminishing who he is as a star, and you are right. That is who he is. He was born a star, and he is a star. But in her eyes, he's Steph. Period. That's it.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
and that right there, like what Shamika was saying, that's disrespectful.
Right. And she
Because
wasn't.
because I don't think Jay-Z looks at Beyonce as just little old B from Texas. He
Nah.
respects her as who she is. You
Yeah.
see? So that's a good point that you made, Shamika, because if she really looks at Steph as just Steph, then that means she don't respect who he is. She don't
I don't
respect
think
him.
I
I
don't
don't
want to
think
say
her
that
saying
far.
what she said
NBA
shows
star.
that she respects him. Like you gotta listen to what she said. And like I
Right.
said, that whole disgusting, the way his character, that's his character, that's a part of who he is. You find it disgusting?
Right.
That says a lot.
Hmm.
That says that screams ungrateful. You know what I'm saying? Understand
That
that there's
too.
groupies and you feel some type of way about the groupies. That's just part of the game. And
I
you
could
knew it
see
when you got in it.
I could
Now
see if
all of
she
a
said
sudden
the
it's
groupies.
disgusting.
Go ahead.
I'm
I'm
just
sorry.
saying.
No, I'm saying I could see if she said the groupies are disgusting, their behavior is disgusting, but just to say his behavior and
She
how
knows
he
something that
is,
never leaked.
that
She knows something that never leaked. She found something that never
I
leaked,
feel
and she was
I think
prepared
so.
to say that. That's
I
what
think
that was.
so. I think
Yeah, I
so.
keep saying she
I
wasn't
think
prepared,
so.
but
She
now
is
that I listen
something.
to it, she's something.
It was something there to make her go that because that's hurtful. That's
It
hurtful
is
to
hurtful. I
anybody.
agree with that. I really do.
Someone,
I totally agree. That's disrespectful and that's hurtful to go on a show and say that your husband behavior is disgusting.
And maybe this is why they're probably not even going through anything because they've been down this road before, and he was probably prepared himself for her to open her mouth like that. Just watch how we get past
yeah,
all of this.
true. Yeah.
Right, because this is all. See, we're going by what we see,
Mm-hmm.
Right?
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and we're making conjecture based off of what we based on what we see. We certainly don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but I always go back to decorum.
Mm.
If there is really issues going on behind the scenes, the last thing you want to do is kind of present a hint of that in public.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the thing about it is, people got to understand whatever you say, especially on social media, is out there. People tend to get upset when people critique and have responses based off of what you put out there. So if you're not ready for that type of heat, this is why I say some things need to be sacred amongst women. Certain things, it's like, okay, I know I'm really feeling this type of way, but I'm gonna put this to the side because number one, playoffs. He needs to be on his shit.
Right.
Okay, he need to be on his shit.
Real talk.
That's number one. You know what I'm saying? And see, when you talk about marriage, that's compromise. That's compromise for real. Like, you know what? I can't stand his ass. But you know what? This playoff time, I'm gonna let him get that. The minute playoffs is over, we gonna have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, he still got a family he need to support. So you don't want to say anything that's going to get him off his A game. Now, of course, he been in the league for a little bit. He got tough skin. But at the end of the day, going back to what happened with LeBron with his mama, that stuff could trip you out though.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
it, 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 it can trip you out. So what we're saying is you got to be mindful with the things that you say and how you say it and in the company that you are saying it with. Because as Nicole would say, these are unapproved women. Now, Jada, we know Jada whole family kooky. They funny,
Yeah, they
Right.
weirdos.
So it's like to be on that type of panel with that type of conversation is kind of like wrong person, wrong atmosphere.
Hmm.
And I think with Aisha, like I said, she just need to take some time off get some therapy, get some counseling, be to herself, and get herself back up and going. That's why I said this is a teachable moment. Get herself
I
back up and
appreciate the
going.
realness of her though, because we like to, there's so many images that like Jay-Z and Beyonce are like the couple that, a lot of people look up to and, aspire to be. But the realness of it, because, everything isn't squeaky clean. And if you're we want to give out a positive and a good image of the Black couple and the Black husband and wife. But at the end of the day, I love the realness of it because it helps you see, it helps you see what marriages really go through. Like, nah, I appreciate her realness, to be honest. I appreciate her saying exactly what she said. And I'm glad that came out because a lot of things come out on celebrities all the time. And and just like he said, real relationships, that's the real relationship they're going through right now. I would never want them to come out and act like a Jay-Z and Beyonce and we don't just know, like, nah, because even Jay-Z and Beyonce had incidents where affairs and things took place, and we've seen videos with him and Solange fighting on elevators. So no one's relationship is perfect, and we gotta stop looking into other people's relationship and holding them to standards. And she was being real in that moment, and that's why I feel her there.
I do
We're not
agree.
saying
That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry.
we're not saying the relationship is perfect. We're just saying that she need to watch her tongue in public.
Right. She got to watch it. And I think
it's a double-edged sword for me. It's definitely a double-edged sword for me. Definitely a double-edged.
Now
I think just going.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that I think when it comes to these celebrities,
Right.
I think a lot of people who are not celebrities look at them.
Right.
I think some people are, and I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I think some people are mad because they wish they were in her position. How could you have what you have and get on TV and act the whole fool?
That's why I feel like a lot of people are coming from with it. But ladies, I'm gonna have to step away from the panel. I'm getting a phone call. I appreciate y'all and good night.
Peace and love, Roger.
Good night.
Thanks for coming through.
Good night,
Thank
Good night.
Night, sis.
But I think that's some of it, and I think that you just have a lot of especially us Black women who are mature. Some of us know we're not married, but we do understand that there's, like you said, position that you play when you are married. So I just feel like this. I think she was all the way wrong. What her motives behind it? Was she mentally unhealthy at the time? Was she on medication? No, I don't think that I think she knew what she was saying. I think she knew what she was doing.
Right.
I think it was said to be hurtful for whatever reason. And I just feel like, no, we should not be looking at these celebrities as goals, relationship goals. They're human just like us. They have issues just like us. The only thing is TV programming, and then they mask a lot of it. They cover it up. So I think that she just had I'm gonna say she had a real moment. Like she said, she spoke her truth. She said what she wanted to say. I don't think that she really cares about the backlash. I don't think that
on Twitter.
Right.
She didn't do anything.
He's still gonna be with her unless something, drastic happens. I think he knows who he married.
Right.
He's still gonna be with her. You know what I mean?
Right.
And she's still gonna be reckless.
And I also think the reason why as Black women we're so hard on each other is because we got to put our image into consideration in society.
Right.
We're stretched thin in our community and outside of our community. So when it comes to someone like Ayesha Curry, who, Black women, we go out of our way to tell brothers we're not like the thoughts. We're different. We're different. We're the diamonds in the rough. We're not the cubic zirconia sticking out in the open. We're different. So when you see another woman that's different and carry herself in the same way that you do, you're going to be a cheerleader for her. Like, yes, okay, we got somebody out there. All right, setting the perfect example. And then when you see her make this sharp turn, it's like, come on, man, for real. Because now what we have to do now is now we got to go into defense mode, because now we got to defend ourselves from some brothers that are going to say, see, that's how you hoes act. And it's like, we got to be like, no. That's not all of us. No, that's not how we are. So I think this is why we're hard on each other, because it's like, we know how society treats us and we should act accordingly. When I mean act accordingly is you have to make sure you're not saying something that off-puts everybody, because whether we like it or not, we are representatives of each other. And we've constantly been trying to fight down stereotypes about us from people in our community and from people outside of our community. And I think that's why Black women are so hard on her, because it's like, what are you doing? Like we can't keep having this where on one end we want to be respected and we want to be treated this way, but then deep down inside we want to be treated the exact opposite, and it makes us all look crazy. So
yeah, that's my issue in itself, because I'm a person that I really believe I'm gonna look at you for your character, and I know everybody don't rock like that, but I believe in, okay, if this individual did something, I'm not gonna group him or other people in with him because of the color of his skin or something like that. And I know that's me. That's not how everybody roll. So me personally, I don't feel the need to validate who I am as a Black woman to any man out here, because my actions are going to speak for itself. And I think that just like her actions spoke for her, because it showed, okay, while everybody was putting her up on a pedestal, Shorty was already thinking, I don't want this. I want to be out there doing this, that, and the third. So this is, I guess my whole thing is, when it comes to men and their criticism on us as Black women, I guess I've just kind of trained myself to be like whatever, because I don't have to validate myself to you. I'm not trying to do nothing with you. I'm not asking you for anything. You're not taking care of me. We not doing nothing together. So why do you matter? You know what I mean? And a part of me feels like more Black women, I think we are actually, a lot of us are taking that approach, but I just feel like more of us should take that approach. If these men are out here saying, oh, you Black bitch, you ain't this, you ain't that, oh, you single mother. Okay, but my question is, what are you doing for me? What am I coming to you asking you for? Nothing.
Right.
So should your opinion even matter? You know?
And I'm glad you brought that point up, because I do see some sisters moving in that direction, and because at the end of the day it does get very tiring. It gets old very fast, and we do recognize that there's certain sisters out here that they ain't shit. Don't matter what you say, what they do, they ain't shit. Ain't never gonna be about shit. And it's like, what more do you want me to do and show and prove that I'm not like the rest? I can't do that, because my mental sanity is important to me. I can't do that. What you call useless, somebody may call it useful. I can't validate my beauty. I can't validate my intellect. I can't do that for you, and you didn't give a fuck about me from the rip.
Yeah.
You see, that's what I want sisters to understand. Like, I know how society treats us. We can clearly see that, and understand that sometimes when we are hard on each other, it's not because we want to see you fail, but we want to see you succeed, and that you can't be a stepping stone for people that don't care about you to begin with. Now, if you are in a position where you're a wife, you set a particular standard in the community, and when that is lost, it becomes problematic.
Right.
Problematic. And as Black women, we have the right to critique Sister Curry and tell Sister Curry, you out of pocket for that shit.
Thank you.
You out of pocket. You out of pocket for that, because you're not single, you're a wife, you're a mother, and I'm sorry, you're off the market. I don't care if you got PTSD. I do not care.
Yeah.
That is no excuse for you to get on television and say that about your husband, who, as Sister Nicole said, if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have your brand. So he built you up as well as himself. So as a wife, as a mother, as a woman, you owe that to him, to show him some respect and say, yes, okay, as women, we all suffer from insecurities. Yes, but I have to put that aside because I'm a mother and I'm a wife. My husband loves me. He appreciates me, and that's what matters. That is what should have been said. Because again, as we agreed before, if this was on the opposite foot, women would have crucified Stephen for the filth.
Yeah. So
it's like we got whether they're a celebrity or not, we got to call out the bullshit. And this was bullshit, Aisha.
It is some bullshit. It was some
bullshit.
It definitely was.
Thirst trap that set us all back. I'm like, damn it, Aisha.
That's true.
Right.
I just wonder moving forward, what'll be said? Like, because I think that is a good thing. Is it just for right now and then something new is going to come along? Or are we going to keep this same energy? Even if she's not talking about anything, are we as women going to keep the same energy when talking to other women or the next person that, gets up there and says some goofy shit? Are we going to keep the same, energy?
That's a very good question. And what I see sometimes is sisters, if that's their favorite person, they ain't going to say nothing. That's their favorite person. That's somebody that they rock with. They not going to say something. But if it's somebody they don't like, it's a big problem. You got to carry that same energy across the board, regardless of whether you like the person or not. Let's say tomorrow, let's say Beyonce says something similar to what Ayesha Curry says. You can't say, yeah, we agree, because Jay-Z cheated on her, and that's why she came out with Lemonade. Excuse me. She is a wife. She gets enough attention as is. She needs to carry herself accordingly. No, you off the market. You don't need no more attention, except for the one from your husband.
That's true.
So that same energy has to be kept across the board, even in your own family.
True.
Your friends. Like, sis, come on now. Why do you need to do that when you got all the attention at home?
You have a beautiful
situation.
Family. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to want for nothing. I understand that you're a little insecure about the groupies, but like I said, you knew what you was getting into when you signed on. This is the game.
Right. And that I'm so glad you brought that point up. That this is when you see, when you're in that type of position, the dynamics change. This is no longer the everyday brother on the street. This is a special brother. He's special. Y'all have access to stuff that regular people will never have. Most.
Yeah.
You're on television. You got access to money. It's a whole different dynamic. So you can't have a hood mentality and you're moving in a fluent society. It's not gonna work that way.
Right.
And When you married this man and he's an NBA player, you knew the hoes was gonna come around the corner.
Hello.
Like my thing is, if I was in her position, I would have been like, "Hey, babe, what's LeBron James' wife's number? I need to talk to Mrs. James and ask Mrs. James how does she deal with this. I need to call Mrs. Wade. I need to call Gabrielle. Gabrielle, how you deal with this? Like, I need to be calling women who've been in this game for a long time. How are you able to wade through this? Is there any advice that you can tell me on insecurity levels, how to cope? Do you have a therapist? How do you deal? Like, you need to find those channels on how to deal with certain things, because this is the life that you're in. It's not the same anymore. It's not. It's just not the same. And I don't feel bad for her to a degree because she's been with him for 15 years. I just, baby, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong on this. You're wrong on this. There's avenues and there's people that you can call and ask them for advice on how to handle certain
My point
things.
exactly. You don't got a home girl you can sit on a patio with and have some wine with and talk about this shit too. You had to go on TV and say how disgusted you are with his behavior and that you wish you had male groupies yourself. That's inappropriate. And she's not taking no accountability. I don't feel bad for her at all.
Right. I don't. I really don't. Um, I get why some sisters are defending her. I get it because it's the whole insecurity issue. But after a while, where does maturity come in?
Hello. Right.
Exactly.
When does maturity come in as a married woman? And I think people conveniently skip that over that she a married woman.
Yeah,
A married woman.
they buy that.
Yeah, like she's not, it's like she's not single. Like she's not single.
I don't think
She,
a lot of people understand marriage or understand the role of the wife and the husband. I
mm,
honestly don't think that people understand that, because I think once you understand, then I couldn't see how you would look at it any other way than what she said was hurtful and disrespectful and an embarrassment to not just her husband but her kids, because this is their father.
right.
So
And I think also because we haven't seen like solid marriages in our community for a very long time. So the wisdom aspect of it, Big Mama was married to Pop Pop for like 50, 40,
Mm-hmm.
50 years. And she was able to give you that wisdom as far as, no, 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 baby. Loose lips sink ships. No, no. You can't, no, no, no. Don't, you can't say that. You can't say that.
yeah.
Right now, it's just, as Nicole said, selfish. It's just about, yeah, I'm married, but,
But right.
you know,
Yeah.
I know
And
I'm Mrs. Curry, but.
that's so funny, because that's why I'm like, her situation, I don't she's human, right? And like I said, I don't look at these celebrities like, I don't idolize them, because I had a lot of like girlfriends around me that were married, right? And so they had this attitude about them, right? Now, me and maybe some of our other friends weren't married. And my best friend told, well, her grandmother, well, I don't understand why, if I'm married, why is it that I have to go through all it is and they just have boyfriends? And it seems like they're doing better. Now, I never mentioned to her that I knew she said this. I just sat back and I just watched. Let's just say all of the females that I hung around that were married, they're no longer married. Do I think that's a good thing? I think that's actually very sad. But then it also goes back to the mentality of the women who were married. Okay, they would talk about their, their husbands. Oh, the husbands are cheating and they're doing this, but they were kind of keeping their dirt, underground. The fact that, okay, yeah, but you were doing the same thing. And you use the fact that, okay, you have the kids and you're home to put it all on him, but y'all were both doing the same things. Y'all were both disrespecting each other. You were cheating and he was cheating. It's just that you called his out and you didn't say anything about you. And so, like, I found myself wondering, like, okay, so I understand to be married is the man chooses you. He makes the honest woman out of you. And I
Hmm.
understand that. And I don't see anything wrong with a woman being proud to be a wife. But what I do take an issue with is when it's like you think you're better than the other woman because maybe they're not married. Yet your relationship is just as fucked up as maybe their relationship with their boyfriend or whoever they're dealing with at the time. So it's like, how can you have such a strong, how can your head be so far up your ass and you're not even working on your marriage? You're not even being a wife, or you're not even being a husband, yet you have so much to say about those who are not married. That I always wondered about stuff like that.
Because I think for those type of women, marriage, that's the ultimate level. So it's like, once I'm there, I don't have to do anything because I'm there. So everyone else that's trying to get there or choose not to get there is like, you're beneath me. Like, ha, I got the ring. I got the ring. Yeah, you got the ring, but he playing punch out with you at the same time. So meanwhile, back down here for people who choose not to get married or are in relationships, you don't know what's going on with their situation. Because people who are married all of them don't have the best relationships. Because some people marry for the ceremony and they don't actually marry for the union, you
Right.
know.
Mhm.
So when you have people in relationships, they're taking time to know each other, they're friends, you know, they're understanding the dynamics of the relationship and they work together and it ultimately leads to a marriage. And then you have people who choose not to get married at all. Like, I don't want to get married. I kind of enjoy the single life and they act accordingly.
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
when you get married, it's more than just like a ring. Like, the man, he's giving you his last name and he's also entrusting you with bearing his legacy, which is his child.
Yeah.
So when he chooses you, he's submitting to your femininity. And a lot of men don't realize that a woman can decline or accept that offer. She don't have to say yes to your proposal. She doesn't.
Exactly.
Sh you know, she could be like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And when you accept his proposal, you're submitting to his masculinity. And that's how you really become the union because you're trusting each other. And there is responsibilities when you become a wife and when you become a husband. The roles don't change, the responsibilities just get longer.
Hmm.
Certain things you can and cannot say. You have to act accordingly now because you're in a whole different mindset. This is somebody that you plan to spend the rest of your life with. This isn't some 6 to 12 month fling. This is somebody that you're going to see constantly. They're a staple in your life. And when you get out of pocket like that, it's like,
So do you think that Aisha Curry actually wanted the marriage or it was a convenient?
I think she wanted the marriage. I think that she underestimated the current lifestyle that they're in. I think she underestimated that. I think that She was comfortable being behind the scenes. She was comfortable being, dutiful. She was comfortable. But then she started to see a little bit of that limelight. And once she
Right.
started building her brand, she likes the attention.
Mm-hmm.
She likes the attention that she's getting. She's liking to cook on TV and having her own cookbook and being on magazines. She started to carve her own little niche into this celebrity life. But the only difference is, where was her male groupies for her cookbook? Where was her male groupies for her magazines? Where was her male groupies for her interviews? So she's realizing that groupie love is very different from the groupie love her husband is receiving.
So
Who
you think?
watches
Go
who
ahead.
watches women who watches women cook? Other women. Who looks at athletes, men and women? So he's gonna get the most attention, and it's to her. It's kind of like, they're not doing that to me, because that's not how you portrayed yourself to the world when everybody first met you.
So you think, in a way, is competition?
Yep, I do.
Yes,
Mm,
yes.
yeah.
It's becoming that, where it's competition, because she said it herself. The way they throw themselves at his feet, I'm not getting that type of attention.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a red flag for me, because my thing is, well, why would it matter? Why
Mm-hmm.
would it matter that you're not getting the attention? Like, you're his wife. And it also goes like to, men with money, women are always going to flock to men with money. The
True.
man has to be the one with the discipline to be able to curb them. Now, I'm good, sweetheart. I'm good. Yeah, I'm about to go home to my woman. I've never heard any rumors of Stefan cheating. I never heard anything about him being, cheating on his woman. He's
Me.
always seen with her smiling, and they're gushing with each other, writing each other little love notes. So on the surface, he appears to be a stand-up guy. What more can a woman ask for?
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, you're like, well, I'm not getting the attention that he's getting. And it's like, sis, you don't want that type of attention, because if you can't handle women throwing themselves at his feet and he's curbing them because he's married to you, you cannot handle these dudes coming to you, because these men will give you that attention.
They
They
will give
will.
you what you ask for. Yep.
Yeah, they definitely
Or
will.
they'll give it to you. That's why you have to be careful with the attention that you seek.
You might
You
get
got
what
to
you
be
ask for.
careful, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how was that? And how was that going to look to Stefan? Like, how was that going to look to him, that now all of a sudden you got a whole bunch of dudes in your DM,
Dick pictures and all.
dick pictures and all? We walking down the street, we at the game, and some dude trying to holler at you, or if they take a picture with you, he's trying to do a sneak grab. Like, how is that
Mm-hmm.
going to look on him? Because before, if they were taking pictures with your wife and you, they weren't like that. They weren't thirsty. Hey, I'm taking pictures with Mr. and Mrs. Curry. But now you put it out there. They got that, Stevie J hand rub, and that look like,
But that's what she.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
that's what she wants. That's exactly what she wants. So he could see just exactly how she feels.
right. And it's like, you shouldn't. You should. My thing is, you shouldn't be in competition with your man.
My
There
point.
should be no competition. Like, play your position. It's like
Yeah.
what the Rock say, know your role. Know your role. You don't gotta do all that extra shit. Like,
Real talk.
I think we just live in a society where everybody wants attention, no matter how they get it, no matter how destructive it is. I just got to have this attention.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I got to have it. It's a drug. Like, I gotta have it. You gotta like me. Yes, hey, I'm right here. I exist. And it's like, it's not that serious. It's really not that serious. And I also think too, Aisha looking at the Kim Kardashians and the Black Chinas. She's looking at a particular group of women that's how they got on by sleeping with other women's men.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's a part of her that is fearful of that. That shit. Like, these women throwing themselves. What if a woman gets lucky with him? What if he, succumbs to the temptation and get with this woman? Even though he has shown you that he's not going to do that. And I think that she's more concerned with these particular group of women instead of just realizing, like, at the end of the day, you have the prize. Like, not all men are going to go out there and cheat. Like, you got dudes out here who love their women, and that's the only woman they want to be with. But when you up here trying to be in competition with him because you want the same level of attention, that can be very dangerous.
Very.
Because if you slip up and, let's say, give in to temptation and he's never cheated on you, how's that going to make him look?
Very bad.
Very bad.
So then it really just all goes back to her insecurities. She's not whole within herself.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna look at the Kim Kardashians or whatever other female is out there, and she's gonna compare herself to them because she's clearly insecure. She's not gonna be, because I felt like maybe when she first started out, she was secure. It was new to her, it was fresh, and like it was said, the men were just loving her. Oh, that's the wife that that I want, this, that, and the third. So she was getting the male attention. But then she has kids. Yeah, she's, like you said, doing the cooking shows, cookbooks. Men are not really interested in that. She has another kid. Okay, she's not really out there like that. So now she's home or doing whatever she's doing, and she's not getting that same response that she was getting when she first stepped on the scene. So it seems to me like it just goes back to being insecure. You're just really
Mm-hmm.
insecure, and yeah, that's something that therapy could probably help her with. I don't know, medication, something, because it's sad to have what you have and still want more. It's not enough, you know. But that just goes to show that people with money are not always happy.
Right. I just hope, they'll get through this. I think that even if she believes she didn't do anything wrong, I mean, she has her right to feel that way. She believes, hey, I told how I feel, but she also has to prepare herself for not just the backlash, but she just got to prepare herself, period, when it comes to her husband. She has to prepare herself for how he might feel because of this. Because it's not just about you, it's about your family.
Well, besides his mother, what's like the deal? Because I don't really pay too much attention to her or him. But what's the deal with like her family structure, her mother and her father? Because I feel like if you were groomed, like, I'm not gonna lie, me personally, no, I didn't have a father in the household. He passed away when I was very young, and I saw the women doing it. So did she come from, mother, father, marriage? Because I would think that she would understand her position as a wife. You
That's
know,
a good question. If she came from a single parent home or not, I'm not sure.
I just wonder because I feel like, okay, even like take away the situation of her being a celebrity. That's just like everyday situation. You're married, your husband is out there, and that's like you sitting down with women and men are listening too, and you're dogging your husband. You know what I mean? That's just not, or you're talking real reckless about your husband to another man or, another female. That's not what a wife does. Yeah, you can vent to your girl. I get that. He did this, he did that. But just randomness, just to put it out there, to put it out there. I just wonder, we all have to learn from somewhere how to do things. It's not going to come natural. So was she taught? Did she know? Is it just like having your first child? You don't know everything, so you just going through everything with your child, that first time.
I
So you
mean,
don't
that
know what
that
to
can't
expect.
that can't be the case if she was taught that. I mean, she's been with this man for years, so I'm sure
That's
she learned
true.
something.
But if
Yeah.
he's well, again, if he's the more meek type, that just means that she's more the over talker. I just wonder about these things, like the dynamics. Does he come across as the more meek one, and she comes across as the more outspoken one?
Could be.
It's just things like that. Sometimes I wonder about, because that does tell a lot. That means basically he couldn't control her if he wanted to, because that's just who she is. And sometimes that's how it goes with some relationships. The women will be more dominant than the men. And I'm not saying that he's not a man. I'm just saying some men, they're just not that aggressive.
That's true. And I think that's where the balance comes in. You do have women who have more of a dominant personality. Not like to where it's like you're effeminizing the man. It's just that you're the type of person that take charge. Because with my aunt and uncle, she's more dominant. He's more passive. So he's very nice. He's very quiet. Like he'll handle like the main important stuff for the house. But my aunt, when it comes to like handling like the business, everybody goes to her because she's the more dominant one. As
Mhm.
far as she's a go-getter, she'll talk for him, she'll speak for him, and he don't mind. Like it doesn't diminish his masculinity. You just had those type of relationships to where women have a dominant personality, they have a more passive personality, but it doesn't take away from her position as a wife or his position as a husband. It's just in certain areas, some people fare better in certain areas than others.
Mhm.
So I guess for her, because she does look like she's an outgoing person. She's bubbly, and he's more like an introvert. More, I'm out here working. I got to do what I got to do. I'm going to come home and I'm in the house. Like I'm a
Yeah.
homebody. I'm chilling with the family. And she's more like, well, come on, Steph, let's go here or let's go there. And that's probably what made him attracted to her, that she balanced out his introvertness, and it brought something out in him, and that's what made him fall in love with her and stay together for as long as they did.
So, well, weren't they in like a Drake video or something
Um,
together?
I seen that she took a picture with Drake. I don't know about a video, but I seen a picture of her
Okay,
and Drake.
maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I'm just because, like I said, I'm not gonna lie. I never really paid attention to her. I was kind of like, once I saw this is the epitome of a wife and this, that, and the third, I was just like, okay, yeah, well, whatever. And I just never really paid attention. But with this whole situation, like I said, before I even looked at the interview, I just already was like, no, that's disrespectful, this, that, and the third. But part of me was just like, let me watch the interview so I can see it for myself and go by my own perspective of what I'm seeing. And then it's just like, yeah, I still feel the same way. It was
Right.
disrespectful. You can't say it wasn't. It really was. But I just found out, she's insecure. For whatever reason, she's just an insecure woman, and that's something that he can't fix for her family can't fix for her, friends can't fix for her. That's something that she's gonna have to fix for herself. And if she fixes it and realize, listen, I don't want this life. I don't want to be with you. You
Well,
know what
shit.
I mean? That's for her to decide.
Yeah,
But
but shake it or shake it. But don't put him on blast talking about,
exactly.
his behavior is disgusting and that you want male attention.
Yeah, that just really took me off because I feel like how do you tell someone you love them, you're in love with them, you marry them, you create children together, and for the public to hear, you just basically shit on their whole character.
Yeah, because she did it intentionally. That's why.
Exactly. Yeah, I know she did that. That was intentional, but it's just no, her character at that point was disgusting. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know.
it
That's I
threw everybody off because you were portrayed as a wholesome, modest woman, and then you come on TV and say that you wish you had male attention. That just kind of
Right.
like throws everything off. You kind of just shifted a lot of people's opinions, and then you go on TV and say you don't think you did anything wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I really believe she feels that way. She didn't do anything wrong. It
That's
was
because
her
she wants
truth.
that 15 minutes of fame. She's trying to get out there,
Yeah,
get out of
yeah,
his shadow. That's what it is.
yeah. I believe this was the start. This was the beginning. I expect to hear more from her doing some reckless shit because it's not the first
Me
time.
too. Me too. I don't, and I looked in the chat and I've seen that this wasn't her first time.
Yeah, I heard that as well. She's said some things. So who knows?
I mean, people will play that role. They'll put that, that good girl image. You know what I'm saying? They'll play that role against you real good. You know what I'm saying? You think that you're looking at a good, wholesome, sophisticated, well-rounded woman until one day she really shows her true colors.
Yeah,
Right.
And I feel like at that time she showed her true colors. She deserved the feedback that she's getting. And I just need her to understand that your shenanigans need to stop now because he need to keep his head in the game.
exactly.
This is his playoffs. He definitely need to keep his head in the game.
Right.
I don't
But
know.
at this point, do y'all think she's concerned with him even winning anything? She got what
No,
she wanted. She ready to move on, right?
she don't care.
Yeah, I don't think she cares. I think that interview proved basically, yeah, she's not worried about him or his feelings or what he has going on.
Because like I said, on Twitter she feel like she didn't do nothing wrong. That's a sign of I don't care.
Right? And even if she sat up there and deep down she felt she did something wrong, even for her to put it out there, like, I'm being me and I spoke my truth, it's still a lie. You know what I mean? And you're still selfish enough to not just say, yeah, I can see how it came across and I can see how I disrespected my husband. I love my husband. We go through things. I'm not sure if she put that in her response, but it's just
No,
like,
she didn't.
well, see, yeah.
She's obviously in competition with her husband and she wants to compete for who gets the most attention.
But that's so childish. That's what I'm saying. You have mature women and then you have immature women. And it just seems to me like I don't know, just a whole bunch of stuff. Insecure, immature,
Very
you
petty.
yeah, yeah. It's like,
Would y'all say? maybe she's realizing now that she's really not ready for marriage.
Yeah.
Maybe not for the type of marriage that she's in with maybe a star like him. She's not ready.
I think she wants the perks and maybe not the marriage.
I think so too. But I guess but I guess she started feeling insecure when she seen, you know what I'm saying, how these groupies was throwing themselves at her. So now I kind of feel like she's trying to tarnish his reputation.
Hmm. I don't know because I mean she didn't. I guess I can understand how you see that because it's not what she said in a sense. It's the what she suggested maybe. Like I guess because she did talk about the groupies a lot and having like I said having to introduce herself. Like he didn't introduce her, she would have to introduce herself. You know what I mean?
I
So
mean, introduce
yeah,
yourself then.
yeah.
You know
I
what I'm saying? And like, he got the shoulder burden of everything. He got, he got the team. You know what I'm saying? He's away from his family weeks, months at a time. You know what I'm saying? He's tired. You know what I'm saying? Introduce yourself.
yeah.
I just feel like now is not the time for the shenanigans.
Yeah, I can understand that. I don't think it's ever really a good time to just go on there and see what she said. You know what I mean? But like I said, I guess we'll just see what's the next reckless thing she says because I'm pretty sure she's not done.
Oh no.
It's
Of course,
just the beginning.
this is not her if this is not her first rodeo, definitely not her last.
Mm-mm. Okay.
Definitely, definitely. So I definitely appreciate y'all ladies. I'm not gonna keep y'all too much longer. I know it's getting late.
Yeah.
We all have business to tend to tomorrow. So I appreciate y'all ladies. Definitely y'all have my email. If y'all would like to do a part two or whenever y'all would like to have or all, women's panel about anything y'all want to talk about, y'all could just hit me up and I'll let y'all know if I can make that happen for you ladies. But I appreciate y'all.
Certainly.
Thank you, fam. Appreciate you too, bro. This was a very good live. Very
It
good.
Very
was.
good.
Loved it.
Definitely. I loved it too. I just like listening to y'all. I love to hear y'all perspective, and this is the first time I've actually heard a group of women actually be honest and hold yourselves accountable, man. I didn't hear no stragality tonight, you know.
Mm-mm.
You know.
No, we're not gonna do that here.
I appreciate y'all though. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate it. And fellas, tomorrow I will do a hangout for you guys. I saw a lot of y'all teeth. I saw a lot of y'all teeth in the chat, man. So tomorrow, brothers, I will do an open panel for us and let y'all get y'all get y'all shit off, man. But I appreciate y'all ladies and y'all have a good night.
No doubt.
No
Got
problem. Same to you. Good night, everyone.
Good
Peace.
night.
Bye bye.
Peace.